starring Cameron Mascari.
No, I didn't star. As much as I wanted to, I did not.
We regret to inform you, Cameron Mascari will be playing this game.
Does anybody need... Do we need to do a recap before we play?
I feel like a recap should be done for Justin.
I kind of would appreciate it, yeah.
Okay.
If that's alright.
Real quick, let's do a really quick audio check. So there's me, hey, there's me, Lucas, you want to go? And then Justin, then Cam, then Dylan.
That's how I feel.
Is that how you feel? Like, what the
What?
Are you
It's
gonna
me?
say anything?
I've been saying a bunch of... Well, I haven't said a lot recently, but now I have been, so that should be okay.
Okay, there's you. All right, Justin.
Can we get a move on? I don't have all night.
That works.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
Oh, god damn
Alright,
it,
then
Cameron. His brain is completely somewhere else.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
This is bad news for everyone.
Everybody's fine.
Okay, thank you, O.
Meanwhile, this is going on with the intro in the background.
It
Jesus
is going on
Christ.
with the intro in the background, which is nice.
It does look
It's
beautiful,
almost
by the way.
over.
I do
Thank
love
you.
the intro going very well done.
It's much better than the old backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Everybody
it
loves
sets the
Minecraft.
tone much more. Nobody
Dylan,
loves
you've worked
Minecraft.
months on that.
I have
technically.
worked months on this.
Like,
It's
I
a
mean,
little ridiculous.
Not straight months, but you've worked months on that.
This is
Like, it looks
true.
amazing. I've shown people at work, and they're like, "What video game is that?" I'm like, "It's not. Just an intro."
Right?
Right? Oh, jeez.
Dude, I've
Like
been getting
Dylan,
similar
my friend
things from
Dylan
that.
has made every object you see. He's made that. He just made it up. The desk, he made it just out of fucking object, and he made that fucking helmet. He made books.
Dude, and then it's like, on top of that, it's on a PlayStation.
Yeah,
With, like, a
he did
brush
it. He
tool
did it
that
with a
you use.
PlayStation.
I had to do it with like the motion controls on the freaking controller.
Motion controls on a
It's the
PlayStation
weirdest.
controller.
Yeah, it took a
Yeah,
lot
that's-
of patience.
That's a
with
lot
it,
of hard. Dude, the
Mad
best was
props,
when
man.
you had your name come up and it was the thunder and lightning outside. I was like, oh,
Wasn't
that
it
looks so
dope?
good. That was my favorite scene. I was like, yeah, Dylan deserves it. That's good. That was a lot of hard work.
I
I'm
earned
fine
it.
with it.
Keeper of the arcade.
He earned it. Yeah, that looked amazing.
Thunder Rumble. All right,
Wish I knew
fellas.
what you guys were talking about, but okay.
You'll see it.
I didn't send everyone a link, but I'll send you a link later. Or well, we'll see it in the beginning of this episode now that it's up. So welcome back, everyone, to episode 16 of our playthrough of Masks of Nyarlathotep.
Damn.
I know. We are now, for Chapter 1, tied with the number of episodes that we had in the prologue,
Son of a...
which is
Really?
crazy.
The
Yeah,
one time?
We had 8 in the prologue,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look at that.
which is
It
crazy.
seems like we've made much less progress.
It's just,
Feels
there's
that
a
way,
lot,
but I don't think that's the
There's a
truth.
lot to get
No.
through. There's just
there's
a
a
lot
There's a
to
lot more
get through.
going on, to be fair.
Yeah, this
Well, through
section is
are you
much
talking
more
about?
investigation oriented, and there was a whole episode literally last week that you guys time traveled. So that was ludicrous. I don't think I was expecting that when I was originally reading through the campaign. But let's see. I don't even know where to start this recap. Okay, Justin, how far back do you want me to go?
I mean, I guess prior to the time travel thing, just so I know what's going on with that, if nothing else.
Okay,
I'll tell him about that.
sure. Yeah, Lucas, can you give a recap?
Which part do you want me to start at? You want to start at the,
I mean, he wasn't there for the funeral, but I don't think
Yeah,
anything
funeral.
crazy really
I
happened.
got
Nothing
the, I
happened
got
at
the
the funeral.
rundown. I got
Yeah.
the rundown from the funeral.
Yeah, the rundown from that was fine. So
wow. Okay.
start with your
So
trip to
basically,
Emerson.
yes. Well, I'll start with the funeral real quick. So we got some context at the funeral that'll help us move forward in our campaign. Basically, not a lot happened after that, except Roger went to Emerson Imports in order to try to get more information on stuff because all those roles were failed upon by everyone else who's went there. But Roger went there with a much more genuine, idea and feeling, which yielded a positive experience, I think. And basically what happened is that Roger actually was able to look at one of the crates that were being smuggled in by that... what was that guy's name?
Silas
Cowain.
Okay.
Being smuggled in by him through an intermediary that was in Africa. And it had like bottles of alcohol like inside of it. Not the crates themselves. The crates themselves had just like mass and shit, but like underneath, like some of the crates had like hidden compartments that had alcohol and like this weird root that were like, I'm going to say in burlap little bags because that makes the most sense in my head.
They were, actually.
We don't know what they were doing with that, but I stole both the alcohol and the root. But on my way out, as it was storming out. It was rough. I couldn't really get a cab, so I started to walk back. I was intercepted. Roger was intercepted by some strange men. This was in what, Hell's Kitchen, Dylan?
Yes.
Yes, in Hell's Kitchen, and they confronted me. 3 guys confronted me. And Roger didn't have the means to really fight back very well, so he was kind of apprehended by them. But in the process, they were searching, as they were kind of patting Roger down, he gave a headbutt to one guy, knocking him out completely. But in the process, also destroying the bottle of liquor that he had gotten from Thing. He ended up escaping with the root, but that was all he got from it. And he met up with everyone else who was dicking around as far as he was concerned.
I can let O recap the stuff that.
Yeah, I can recap some of the stuff that O did. Brock and Les. Do you want me to? Oh, do you want to do it?
I'll do it.
Okay. So I got back there, and this is what I was told.
So, the way that was happening is that Brock and Leslie had gone to the library because they were going to be looking for a book to figure out what the symbol was, right? Brock has been basically blacklisted from researching certain areas of the library, right? And so he decides, well, I don't care if I've been blacklisted. I'm going to break in. And so he has Leslie cause a distraction. So Leslie goes up, starts walking around, and then someone shushes him. So Leslie decides he's going to get into a fight with the guy. He ends up smacking him with a chair, right? And meanwhile, Benjamin goes, he hops in one of the little, what's it called?
Elevator thing?
Yeah.
Shaft?
Yes, elevator.
That little elevator for the books to go into the basement.
Dumbwaiter.
Because this is like
Dumbwaiter.
Because this is a huge library. He hops in, goes down to the bottom level, almost gets caught. When he's going down, he like gashes his finger because he had closed the thing and it gets caught and he's bleeding everywhere. So he gets down there, manages to find what he's looking for, but he gets caught. I guess not caught, but somebody finds out he's down there. So what he does is that he starts drawing symbols on one of the walls with the blood from his hand. And then he creates a portal, or a gate, to a box that he had that was currently in John's hotel room. So, Cam, you want to say what was happening with John while that happened?
Yeah, so John had a really shitty time. So he'd already had a really shitty day, and then he comes home, and then he's sitting there, and then the box opens up, and he freaks the fuck out, because literally something just pops out of the box. And
You're forgetting the part where you went to a church that...
Oh, yeah, I went to the church, and then because the pastor that gave Jackson's funeral wanted to talk to me, and then he, possessed me, kind of, and, fucking made me trip the fuck out, and I had this, dream, and I saw everybody hanging and dead, like in the future, and then, I woke up somewhere. I woke up, hungover as fuck, and, then I went down to the hotel room and tried to find out who sent the note, and then ended up throwing up and passing out in the lobby, and then they brought me upstairs to my room, and then after I woke up and tried to compose myself, that's when fucking Benjamin popped out of the box and freaked me the fuck out.
The box starts shaking, falls over on the side, the lid goes flying off of it, and then Benjamin tumbles through, and then it closes behind him.
fingers.
But as it's closing, the person that was chasing him reached through, and it closed on his fingers, severing his fingers into the box.
Then we tried to flush the fingers, and then I got caught in the toilet.
Get rid of the fingers. Yeah, so he's like, get rid of the fingers. So Benjamin goes. He's like, I don't know what to do with these. So he tosses them in the toilet and flushes it. But then it clogs the toilet. So the toilet's overflowing.
They basically all were having a terrible...
and then,
this is
Roger showed up, right? Is that when Roger showed up, like, fucked up? Like,
he showed up
Yeah.
fucked up and was like, what the hell's going on? And then he started getting frustrated with the lack of progress that we were making. Like, basically, at the end of that day, you'd managed to, put a name to a cult that you don't even
well, we
know
figured out what
Bloody tongue.
we figured out what the roots were for too, because John knew what it was.
That's true. John had seen
like
the
a-
roots before. He had known.
It's like a drug, kind of like tobacco, but stronger. I don't remember the name.
But
It's like
Roger's
chewing tobacco,
biggest
but stronger.
feeling for this is the fact that he feels like he's the only one actually doing anything. Not that you guys aren't doing something, but he's going further than you guys, so he's putting forth more effort into this investigation because he's actually following leads, and you guys are going all over the place and doing weird stuff. So he doesn't appreciate a lot of that. But that's just his feeling. I'm not saying I don't care, but that's his feeling.
Yeah, that was his general
So-
feeling. And then John walked him home, and then because he felt
John
bad.
almost died.
Yeah.
Well, John was trying to be a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, he was
John was trying to be a good guy.
Also,
Walked him
Leslie
home.
showed
So
up
don't
at
recap the
some
rest of that.
point.
I'll fucking tell
That's the part.
Justin's
yeah,
character
we'll-
the rest of that,
yeah,
what I've
we'll-
known from
yeah,
it.
we'll role play the rest of it because
Okay.
it's honestly it's so ridiculous that Roger doesn't even really believe the story behind what happened. So suffice to
Well, does
say,
anyone really know what happened? Because
No, Leslie and Benjamin know what happened, but they both
and
checked
John's
themselves into
MIA.
the hospital. Yeah, John does not know what happened because he's been
passed the fuck out.
he's passed the fuck out.
Yeah.
So
Leslie and Benjamin, the two people whose, if you heard a story from them, you wouldn't believe
yeah,
it.
the
Pretty
last
much.
believe.
which is ridiculous. I didn't plan it like that. Just fucking happened, basically.
Excellent.
But yeah, that's the recap. A minor recap before we jump back in here.
Okay.
Lucas, when I sent you that information for the meeting later, what time did I tell you it was? Do you remember? Did I tell you about that?
What? No.
Rebecca Schusenberg. Did I say that last
You didn't
time?
tell me the time. You just told me I had a thing with
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure.
Millie Adams. That's all you told me.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Very good.
Do I need to get on Discord? Because I'm not on my computer.
You don't need to. No, I don't have anything on there. I did
I'm not a
send.
computer either. So
I sent the match book that Corey found last time there, though. If you want to look at it,
If it doesn't matter to my current predicament,
it
I
doesn't
don't
really
care.
matter to your current predicament, though. He just happened to
no big
find it last time. So it's Tuesday, January 20th, 1925. It's around 3 p.m. We're inside Dr. Petrovich's private practice on the second floor. He has a kind of like a duplex situation upstairs, downstairs. Lives downstairs, office upstairs. There's a man laying on his back on a kind of button-back couch. He's relatively young. Looks like he's in his 20s. His name is Isaac. And he's a very nervous man, and he's been ranting for the better part of this entire hour, this whole appointment. He's just like, I just want to relax. You know, I just want a moment when I don't feel like there's something wrong, doctor. Just one moment when I don't feel so exhausted. Maybe the sleep isn't that good, but it's something, right? Like, I say that tomorrow will be better, but really I'm wondering what I did wrong in the smallest situations, like why did I do that? Why did I say that? What are they thinking of me right now? I know that they said we're cool, but are we really? What if they changed their minds? What if they didn't want to hurt my feelings? What if they never speak to me again? I don't know, doctor. He's like sweating and like dabbing his brow with a handkerchief.
Isaac, listen. Please, I don't understand why you are so anxious. You're making me anxious. Just please take a deep breath and tell me what really is it that's bothering you.
Everything, Doctor. It's everything.
It sounds like you're living in the past constantly. You know, like you're always worried about things that have already happened. You need to be more in the present.
Out of the corner of your eye, the final grains of sand tumble through the hourglass, signifying the hour is up. And you can tell that he's about to just burst into another long diatribe. But his appointment is over. You do not have the time to go through this right now. But go ahead and give me a psychoanalysis roll.
Okay. That's a 15.
Okay. He looks to be calming down slightly from your words, but he's still looking pretty distant, like kind of up through the ceiling at nothing, not focused on anything in particular. Yeah, maybe you're right, Doc, about that in the past. Maybe you're right.
I kind of just like go up to him and I just like, you know, smack him like friendly on the cheek and just kind of hold his face and just tell him like, listen, you're going to be fine. Just please, you need to be in the moment and not be so focused on what other people think and just breathe, okay? Breathe.
Yeah, okay, Doc. I'll do that. Listen, I got the check for last week here, but could you do me a favor and not cash that till Thursday? I got some monies to move around.
It's no problem. It's no problem here. Just give it to me.
Thanks, Doc. He reaches into his jacket pocket and hands that over to you while he starts wrapping a scarf around his neck. It's a damn cold one out there. I can't believe we got all this fucking snow. Oh, pardon my French, Doctor. Sorry.
I'm just gonna go over to my desk and pour a shot of vodka. And yeah, it's not so bad. And down the shot.
All right. Well, same time next week.
Yeah, sure. You know, hopefully your check will clear by then, and I will see you again soon.
Sure. And he starts descending the stairs. You see him out through your kind of like you got like a bay window that overlooks like the small yard, and then out to the street. You see him kind of pull his collar close, and he starts like wading through the snow that you had previously cleared the sidewalk, but it's already kind of filled up again with several inches. He's kind of like looking left and right and kind of pauses to light a cigarette at the end of your drive and then turns and starts walking south. Across the street, there's an idling car. It's black, mostly covered in snow, because it's been sitting there for quite a while. It was there at your previous appointment. It was there this whole appointment. The windows are pretty tinted. You can't really tell who's inside. But it's been giving you an uneasy feeling the last several hours. As you're staring out at it, what would you like to do?
So as I'm kind of like watching him, as he's walking away and he hits the fence, I'm just gonna kind of have like a little bit of a like a flashback, and all of a sudden I'm just gonna see like my wife behind like that chain link fence, just for a moment, just kind of see her there in the snow, and then I'll notice the car. And so you said have I noticed the car before, or it's been there for a day or two? But
it's been there for a while. You noticed it, I think, for the first time yesterday. It wasn't there last night, as far as you know. But starting with your like noon appointment and on through this one, it's been just idling directly across the street from your practice.
Okay. So just after reflecting on that flashback, I want to just grab my necklace that has the 2 rings on it and just kiss it, and then I'm gonna put my pea coat on and walk outside and start approaching the car.
Okay. When you open the front door, you let in this like just loud bluster of wind and snowflakes kind of furling in around your coat. Give me an intelligence real quick.
Okay. That's a 90.
Okay.
Oh, great.
So, do you want to lock up or you want to keep it unlocked? What do you want to do?
It's just right across the street, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lock up. I'm just gonna kind of put my hands in my pockets of my pea coat to keep it closed and just walk over to the car.
Okay, so as you're closing the door, you hear that engine kind of kick up, just, and you turn, start walking down that approach to the street, and it starts pulling out, and driving pretty slowly away from you, the same direction that Isaac was going. That's not necessarily consequential to you.
Okay.
But your mailbox, you haven't checked in the last few days as well. If you want to grab that while you're out.
Yeah, is it too shitty out to light a cigarette? I'll just try and light a cigarette.
Yeah, you can go for it. You can give it a shot.
Alright, yeah, well, so just gonna pull a pack of smokes out of my pocket, try and bearing against the wind, light one up, and then walk over to my mailbox.
So you've got a few bills due. Primarily, there's this one that's really bugging you. The landlord of the building has been kind of harassing you lately. You haven't been able to keep up on renting both spaces, upstairs, downstairs. And you see that envelope right when you open it. Like, you notice his scrawl on the front of the envelope.
I'll take my cigarette and just burn where his name is, and then throw the letter out into the snow.
Also in there, there's a post from your police officer friend down at the what precinct is it? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, I think it's Joseph. I think his name was.
Oh, jeez.
There's a manila envelope with a address to you from him.
Okay. I'll kind of just tuck it into my my jacket, and just try and take like a big drag off my cigarette as I'm walking back into the place.
Okay. When you enter, your phone is ringing upstairs.
It's always something, and I go try and catch the phone before it stops ringing.
Okay, Roger, this is you on the other line.
Yes, how can I help you? Hello?
Lucas.
Sorry, I've been actually yelling, and I was on mute.
Fucking kids with their crank calls.
Doctor! Doctor, is that you? I can't hear. Sorry, I'm outside.
Yes, who is this? Is this crank call?
No, it's Roger. Remember Roger Lynch? You remember me?
Roger, yes.
Yes. Oh, thank God. I thought it was another message. I've been calling you for a little bit, and you haven't been answering, so I've been leaving messages, and wow. You been okay?
Yes, I've been very busy with patients. I don't know.
Okay. Well, oh, man, some things have happened, and...
You sound frantic. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. Things have occurred that had been unusual to me, Doctor. Honestly, it would be very beneficial to have a man like you in my vicinity, but I don't know how possible that is at this moment. But I want you to know, our friend John Michael Stevens, he's in the hospital, He suffered an almost fatal injury. Should have been fatal, but fate had other designs. And he's in the hospital, and he needs your assistance. If you get a moment, it'd be nice if you went to go look at him. Hey, Dylan, what was the hospital's name?
I think they just went to St. Luke's, but I'm not positive.
All right, he's at St.
You'd have
Luke's.
to ask one of the others.
I'm just going to say I think it's at St. Luke's because that's all I got.
That works for me.
That's all I got. I think it's at St. Luke's. I can't remember the actual hospital name. You might have to go look around for him. But he's definitely there, and he's been through some things that I don't know if I have time to describe to you. He claims, and this is him, just so you're aware, he claims that he went through time, and things didn't work out the way he wanted them to.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you. What? Time?
Yeah. He said he went through time. Now, I don't know how true it is, because, mind you, the other night, John Michael Stevens walked me to my hotel room. I got beaten up a little bit. I'm still kind of messed up now, but I kind of functional. I'm fine. He dropped me off. I went to bed. I woke up the next morning, and I saw like a telegram. Not really a telegram, but like information from my how to put it, like the main office of my hotel, and they told me that Mr. John Michael Stevens had been put in the hospital like earlier that afternoon, which makes zero sense. But then he told me he went through time, and I don't want to believe that that's true because it makes zero sense.
Roger, your timeline's not adding up. He
no
was
shit.
in the hospital in the afternoon before
You
you saw him that night?
I saw him that night, and then he was in there the afternoon. After the morning I woke up. I don't want to get into it. You have to go talk to him yourself. But if you get a chance, remember, John Michael Stevens, I think it's St. Luke's. I don't remember, but I have other things I got to do. I'm just happy you're around. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me. Leave it with my my hotel's message service, because I will be out for the foreseeable future.
Okay, I will do my best to find John. You're not going to be able to help us, though. You're too busy.
Yes, I've got some leads I'm following on Jackson Elias's murder. To be honest, Doctor, I gotta tell you, I feel like I'm the only one following the leads. Like, I don't know what everyone else is dicking around doing, but it's starting to impede progress, and that's not something I'm very happy about. But you are a man of science, and I
know Jackson was my friend as well, and I know we're all very curious, and we want to find out what's happening with him. I did help you with Silas, and following those leads as well. But it seems like we need to take care of our friends,
Yes. Oh, Dylan, do I know the address to Millie Adams' house or apartment or whatever?
You do not, because the message you received from Schusenberg said, I believe, 5:30 at the Lafayette Theater in Harlem.
Got it. Okay. All right. Okay. Doctor, I'm on my way to Lafayette Theater in. I can't remember what's going on in Harlem. It's been a rough night. It's been a rough night for me. But I'll give you more information eventually. I'll call this number again. I'll give you more information, and if you have a chance, maybe you can come out and, help me with some of these, questions I got for, maybe you'll know more than me. You're a doctor. I have a chance at maybe even talking to a possible serial killer. Maybe that'll, you can help with that.
Serial killer, huh? That interests me very much.
Yeah, Holton Adams. You remember him?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going through my notes. Out of character for a second. You're going to meet with
well,
Mr.
I
Adams?
might. I'm just saying. I'm meeting with Hilton Adams' wife, Millie Adams, and I'm hoping that can get me an introduction to him. And if it does, it'd be nice to have a man of, medical science there to help corroborate some things I might not understand.
Right. Okay, well, let me see if I can find John at the hospital, and then
Yes, do that.
make some sense of what's going on here. And then I will contact you, and hopefully we can meet. Really, I'm very interested.
Yes, just call my hotel. I give my hotel's information. And just call them, and I'll call back as soon as I'm finished with Miss Schusenberg, who's a reporter. I'll call that, and if they don't have information, I'll keep going. Okay, but I'll call every at least hour or so.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
we'll see
Doc.
you in a little while.
All right, bye.
Right.
So,
All right. So, kind of just processing that as I'm going through the rest of the mail, because I didn't open that other letter yet, right?
no.
What I don't even know if I would even. Well, maybe while we were on the phone, I was kind of just opening stuff.
Okay. Then towards the end of the phone call, you get to that letter from Sam Braniff. That's his name.
Okay.
It's a manila envelope. You pull it open. There's a photograph inside. It looks like it's like blown up to about like the size of like A4 paper, so like standard legal size almost. Pretty large photograph of the head wound on Elias's forehead. And it's not really what you expected, but then you remember the conversation that you had several days ago, where you requested the negative, and here he supplied you with a copy of the photo. And it just rekindles that pain in your mind of losing your friend to such barbarism.
I observe the photo for a minute, and then I turn it upside down and slam it onto my desk.
All right. Across town, in Harlem, there's a man leaning against a tree that's growing out of the sidewalk. It's kind of pressed between two buildings. One of them is the Lafayette Theater. Would you like to describe your character?
Alrighty. So my character's name is Gene Garvin. He goes by Honey Bear as his name because he's a jazz musician. He plays the tenor saxophone. So that's his nickname. He prefers to go by Honey Bear. He is a very tall African American man. He is, what did I say? He's 6'4"? Yeah. Pretty burly guy, heavy set. So he's a bit overweight, but he wears a large fur coat. Do I still have that picture, Dylan, that I sent you?
I don't know if you still have it.
I mean, wait, well, yeah, of course. Why would you know if I still had it? Good God.
I don't know.
So he wears a coat. Shut up. Anyways, I'm gonna send y'all a picture to the Discord of what kind of coat.
This is important.
It is very important because he's always wearing this coat, and that's why they call him Honey Bear, because of the coat he wears. So this is very important, and you all need to see what kind of coat it is because, god dang, I love this coat.
If this is what's his name from Workaholics, I'm gonna be so mad.
No, I don't know what you're talking about actually.
Thank God.
So he's a pretty average-looking guy, and that's kind of who he is, as far as appearances.
So you've been leaning against this tree here. It's known in Harlem as the Tree of Hope. It's kind of got mythology surrounding it as a good luck totem to many a jobless musician and actor who often wish to it or kiss it in hopes that it will secure them work and good fortune and artistic realization. Why don't you go ahead and give me a saxophone roll?
Hell yeah. 43. So that's a pass.
Okay. So you've actually been generating some interest. A few people stop for a few minutes at a time, but once they get too cold in their toes and their fingers from just standing still, they inevitably move on. But they do drop a few spare coins into the open case that you have at the base of the tree. Let me see. I'm going to need a group luck roll. But since we're new characters, I think it's not your responsibility anymore.
Oh, so that'd be...
I think it's Roger now.
Yeah, Roger.
Is it mine? Alright. Let me roll this shit. Alright, 2 tens. Alright, so Roger rolls a 30, exactly.
Is that a pass?
That's a pass.
Okay.
What's your luck, Roger?
42 or something.
So you guys all, each of you, individually,
45.
for the course of this session, I suppose, or the next in-game 24 hours, are going to have the opportunity to have one roll with advantage for free.
Nice.
Cool.
And it's of your choice. Just let me know when you want to use it.
Cool.
It's getting kind of close to dusk there, Honey Bear.
All right.
You know that your buddy Reggie contacted you earlier. He's hoping to meet you at Teddy's about 2 blocks down the road. Because he had something he wanted to discuss with you.
Okay. So before he heads over there, he's gonna give the tree a kiss, pack up, and then start heading over.
Okay. The inside of Teddy's it's a pretty nice establishment. It's basically a gentleman's club in Harlem. You frequented it several times. You've played music there before. It's not your favorite place, but it's not bad. It's pretty easygoing. There is it's like mostly comfortable. It's got tables, booths around the walls. The central tables can be removed for parties and like dances, and there's a small stage at the far end of the room. It's all one room, and there's a bar that lines one wall that serves sodas and hot drinks, as well as some food. You're not crazy about the food here. Usually it's pretty bad. You do know that there's a speakeasy as well downstairs that operates after hours.
Okay. At what time is it again?
It's about 5.
Okay.
And Reggie is waiting for you at the bar.
Okay.
Do I see him?
Please don't see him.
You are currently engaged with whatever type of beverage you would like that's not alcoholic.
A Coke.
Okay, you're engaged with a Coke.
With rum.
Non-alcoholic rum, please.
All right. So, Honey Bear is gonna sneak up behind Reggie, and he's going to give him a big old bear hug and pick him up.
Reggie's gonna elbow him because he thinks he's getting attacked.
Quick, do a fighting brawl roll.
Can I elbow him?
Do you want to like hardcore elbow him or like legit?
More like reactionary, like you know.
Not
so
to
probably
harm,
not.
but mostly just to
More
throw
like-
them off of you.
Yeah.
I'll take a roll for it. Yeah, why not?
Can I roll against it to keep the grip?
38.
Or
6.
so yeah, you don't escape the grip.
Reggie, you're gonna have to do better than that to get out of one of my hugs.
Oh, Bear, you motherfucker. Put me down.
So he sets him down. How you been doing, man? It's been a long time.
Good, brother. How you been?
Oh, been finding gigs here and there.
You still playing that saxophone?
I sure am. I used to play up on that stage right there.
Well, I remember. Why don't you take a seat?
Sure thing. So why'd you call me out here anyway?
So I met this man named Roger. He said he can get us some work, and he asked if I knew anyone else, and I thought you'd be perfect for it. So what do you say?
All right. Well, first off, what kind of work are we talking here? I mean, if it's a gig, I'll play it, but
It's not a gig, but he said the money's good, and I know you need the work, so I figured you'd be interested.
Well, I can't turn that down. I do got to take care of my mama, so I'm going to take whatever I can get.
Yeah, I mean, he's friends with these two kind of weird people, but himself seems pretty cool.
I mean, by weird people,
This
weird
one,
old white folk.
Yeah, this one dude from Australia or something. I don't know. I don't trust him. And this little half man kind of thing. He's kind of like a little boy. I can't really tell. He's weird looking.
Man. Now Aussies, they something else. You remember back in the war? Those guys were crazy.
I remember.
Yeah, and you said half man. What do you mean half man?
He ain't got no legs. Straight up, no legs.
Who you running around with a boy that got no legs?
Weirdest little shit I've ever seen, man. I don't think
Reggie.
you'd like him. But this Roger guy, he's cool. You'd like him. He seems legit. He offered me 3 times what I was making at the garage, so I figured, might as well take that up. That's good money.
So you don't really know what the work is about, but you know the pays good?
I know the pay good. That's all I needed to hear.
Well, all right. I suppose I'll take it. When do we get to meet this Roger fellow?
Has it been stated when we're supposed to meet him? I don't really remember.
You said that the meeting was going to be 5:30 at the Lafayette Theater.
Okay. Yeah, we got about a half hour at the Lafayette Theater. Well, we could head over after this drink if you want.
Sure. And afterwards, why don't we come on back? He leans close. There's a speakeasy downstairs I know about.
Oh, I know all about that. Okay, so
all right. So they're gonna head over, I think, in about 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes. Okay. As you're sitting there enjoying yourselves and enjoying the conversation, somebody bumps into you, Honey Bear, and kind of knocks you into the bar a little bit.
All right. Excuse me. You gonna apologize for that?
No, I'm gonna apologize for nothing. You turn and you see this guy that just answered you. He's incredibly tall. He's bald. Pretty muscular. Kind of menacing. Got kind of a perpetual scowl and a lazy left eye. He's familiar, but you're not entirely sure where you've seen him. I would like hard intelligence rolls from both of you.
That's a fail.
18.
Okay.
Which is, let's see, I think that's a pass, actually.
Okay, Reggie.
My
So
intelligence is 17.
you recognize him from posters for boxing as somewhat of kind of a local legend. I think his name is Eugene or Eustace or something. You're not entirely sure.
Hey, big boy, you just bumped into my friend. Why don't you apologize?
You want me to apologize for what? I haven't bumped
You just
into
bumped
me.
into my friend.
He bumped into me. He apologized to me.
Where did you learn your manners, son?
Oh my! You just stole my man. You want to take this outside, man?
I'll take this
All
outside.
right.
Let's go.
All right, Reggie. This
like
ain't it's no problem.
No,
All right.
no, this man disrespected you. You can't let him disrespect you like that.
Look, he's obviously had too many drinks. All right.
I don't care, man. He just disrespected my friend. I'm not letting that pass.
He reaches past your shoulder, Honey Bear, to grab Reggie by the cuff of his shirt and tries to pull him close. Almost everyone in the bar flinches at this, goes silent, and starts looking your way. And the bartender kind of leans in. He's like, I wouldn't mess with that guy. He's a fucking heavyweight champion.
Mama, don't
All right,
raise
so-
no bitch.
So, all right. So Honey Bear's gonna kind of lean in to Reggie. All right, now Reggie, look, I know you used to box. All right, but I think it's been a couple of years since you've done that. I don't know if you can take this guy.
Man,
you
after
think
all
you got
these
a
years,
chance
you don't even have
fighting
my
me,
don't even
man?
believe in me. What's that, big boy?
You think you even have a chance? Fucking come over here. And he
Let's
starts
go.
like pulling you for the back door out to the alley. People are kind of like parting to give you space to get out there. And he pushes you through the door. Give me a dex roll quick.
All right. It's a 96. That's a fail.
So you kind of slip and have to like balance yourself on these garbage bins, and they almost tip over and spill onto you. But you kind of like brush yourself off, and this guy, this boxer Eugene, comes and steps through the door, and he's like smirking down at you. He's like, "Come on, get those arms up! I thought you were a boxer."
All right, so now like I like put my arms up. I'm like bouncing around, like ready to fight this guy.
All right. Let's see. Who's gonna go first? What's your dex as Reggie's dexterity?
70.
Cool. So you get to go first. What do you want to do?
I want to like. I figure like this guy's like big, strong, but slow. So I want to like just like come in and like try to do like a jab like right to his face and like back out. Try to like stay out of his range.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if that stuff really matters in a thing like this, but it would make sense. Like,
No, yeah, go
he's
for
a
it.
boxer; he knows what he's doing. So, 53.
Fuck. One of my dice fell in the trash, so I'm gonna roll a die on the internet.
That sounds like a 0 to me.
Yeah, it's an automatic fail.
It's an automatic. It's an automatic.
It's a
fumble
trash
for
roll.
me.
It's an automatic 99 right there.
I will just use Google because that is. Or I could just roll twice. Okay, well, I rolled a 95.
Woo!
So he is not ready. He's kind of like smirking over his shoulder at the other patrons who kind of look more concerned than, excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
And you slip in and you give him a blow to the ribs. And he goes, ooh, and he like backs away a little bit. He goes, oh, I didn't realize we started. And like from inside, there's some voices going, don't do this, Reggie. It's not a good idea. Honey Bear, where are you watching from?
Oh yeah, he's right out there. He's just he's in the crowd watching.
Good old honey bear.
You gotta be my hype man. Come on.
All right, all right, fine. All right,
roll me-
Reggie.
roll
Look,
me,
if you're gonna do this,
Roll me damage, by the way.
Okay.
Unarmed damage.
Is that a D100, or is it?
No, it's
it's
completely separate.
brawl. Is it brawl, right? So it's a
Yeah.
D3 plus D4.
Yes.
Okay. Which one's the D4 again? I'm sorry. It's like the
Pyramid.
the triangle.
It's like a triangle. It's like a pyramid on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Or is that a D3?
It's a literal pyramid.
It's the pyramid. It's the
Okay, then
prism.
what's one's a D3 then?
There's no D3. It's a D4 minus 1.
There's one D3 plus. Okay, whatever. That's a 1. Then so I wrote down 1 D3 plus 1 D4. I don't know what that means.
It literally means 1d3 plus 1d4, but you do not have a 1d3, so you have to roll
Okay.
1d4. So it's 1d4 minus 1, and then another 1d4.
Okay, so 1 D4 minus 1, so 0, and one more.
No,
1
you
D4.
can't. It's impossible. So it'd be 1.
Okay, so just 1.
Yeah.
And then a 4.
Damn. Okay. So he wasn't ready for that, but he's ready now, and he's coming to get you. What are you gonna do?
I feel like I'm just trying to like play this as like I'm standing off. I'm just gonna go like almost like the Viper versus the Mountain, where it's like I'm trying to take shots and then back up and like try to dodge, take shots, back up.
You know,
Yeah,
the
but
Viper
Viper
lost
was
that
awesome.
fight, right?
Yeah,
Viper-
because he was too cocky.
Which is bullshit. I have reservations about this, Dylan. I don't want to get into it right now because that
Later,
fight
later,
was bullshit.
later.
But anyway,
later.
continue.
Just later.
Well, anyway, continue.
Yeah, so I want to try to dodge.
So you
him.
want to dodge? Okay, go for it.
Yeah. That's a 27, which my dodge is at. Let's go. Where's dodge? Give me a second. Is it been under skills, right? Skills or?
It's under skills.
It's
yeah, it
half
should
of
be.
your dex.
It's half of your dexterity.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
so
but
that's a
you can
pass.
put more points into it, though, is the thing. So
Okay, so
okay.
it's because half my dexterity is a 35.
Mm-hmm.
So and I rolled a 27.
Yeah, I don't know if you put more points in there, though. Okay, you rolled 27? Okay, I rolled 67. All right, so he comes in for a heavy left hook, and you just immediately duck out of the way of it. You just hear the whoosh of the fist flying through the air in front of you.
Okay.
And he kind of chuckles as he staggers to try to regain his stance, and it's your turn.
All right, that's right, Reggie. Just stay out of his reach.
So I want to like go in for another quick strike. This time right-handed, and just try to like land this nice solid blow.
Dude, knock this motherfucker out, man. Come on. Knock him
All
out
right,
right
so
now. I know you can do it.
93, so I fucked up.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
So you go in for this this jab. He immediately blocks with his left arm, and then he cold cocks you in the nose, and you feel blood start trickling out. He just hit you for 5.
Okay.
No, damn it! I said stay out of his reach.
Look, I'm trying, man. He's fast.
I rolled a 100, so he tries to attack you, and he really fucks this one up. So he basically leaves himself completely open. He like goes to swing, almost throws his back out, and his like back is to you. What do you want to do?
So like I want to like, can I like try to like kick his legs out?
This isn't MMA, but I mean,
boxing.
you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to
Okay.
stop you, but
No, I just want to know like, are we just like backyard brawling? Like
this
is
is like
just,
backyard boxing. You're not really
Okay, then I feel like
trying to
he would
kill
stick
each
to the
other.
rules. Then like obviously like he has like brass knuckles, but he obviously wouldn't use it in a fight like this because it's just a fist fight. It's not like dirty. So I'll just like just try to like punch him in the face then, like on the side of his face.
Okay. I will go ahead and say that's going to be an instant connect because I failed so hard.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, give me a roll just to see, because
Okay. D4, right?
just regular D100. I want to see what you
Okay.
get.
31.
Yeah, okay, that works for me. So you're gonna do max damage on this. 3. So yeah, you punch him and spittle and blood fly from his mouth, and he kind of like spins and his right leg slips on ice. And he goes and he clunks his face onto the alley floor, and he goes to pick himself up, and he gets up pretty quickly, and it looks like he's going in for the punch, but as he's like reeling back, he like loses balance and just collapses into those garbage bins that he'd pushed you into earlier, and they both overturn, and trash just falls onto his chest, and he's immediately just out cold. And people are now rushing out of Teddy's and like just kind of surrounding. It's like, did you just knock out Eugene Eckler? Jesus Christ, man, you should be a real fighter. Like people, it starts as concern and turns into people cheering for you. They're pulling you back inside.
Just a lucky shot.
My God, boy, you knocked out a heavyweight. You still got it. He picks him up again with another bear hug.
Thanks, Bear. I feel like I want to make sure that Eugene's not dead. Like, just go over and make sure he's like breathing.
Oh yeah, he's breathing.
Oh, I gotta
He's
say,
snoring.
Reggie's your best character you've done so far.
Wait, who? Did you say
Reggie. Reggie's the best character you've done.
that I've done? My character's Honey Bear.
Whoever the fuck, dude! Don't make me get mad. Okay? You just go, yeah, yes, okay, thank you.
Reggie is
Yes.
is Cameron's character.
Yes.
Sorry, Dylan.
He's like, shit, I can't be mad at Dylan. He runs the thing. Fuck, he might kill me. Okay,
All right, continuing.
yeah, continuing. Roger. I imagine you're en route to the Lafayette Theater at this
You
point.
bet your cute little ass, Dylan.
Did you want to invite
Stop laughing.
Dr. Petrovich with you, or did you
If
want him
he's
to follow
there,
up on
I
him?
would like to. I didn't want to push that in case you didn't have that in the
Okay.
mix.
Then we'll do another scene with Petrovich and see what he decides to do then.
Roger also got a sub on the way.
Okay, good. What kind of sub is it?
Yes.
It's a toasted cheese sub.
Oh, that sounds great, actually. Is there like a nickname
Pork
for
cheese.
it?
Yes, there's a fucking nickname for it.
He doesn't say what it is, but yes,
They
there's
call it.
definitely a
No,
nickname.
shut your mouth. You shut your mouth specifically.
Yes, there's a nickname for it. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
It's Roy Choi's sub.
Okay.
Very specific. It's very cheesy, and it's toasted. It's very good. Watch this.
So Roger's eating the back of the taxi en route to the Lafayette Theater. Petrovich, you are currently in the hospital, and you found John's room. They hurried you there just because they know you, so they didn't really give you the runaround. He is still unconscious. It looks like he's sleeping. They tell you that he wakes up every now and then, but he doesn't say much. He looks terrible, though. He almost looks like he's got like little sores all over him, like little red spots. His eyes look very sunken, and his whole left shoulder is like bandaged, and his arm is kind of bandaged across his chest. Like, he looks god awful, like nowhere near as healthy as you remember him.
Okay, and he's unconscious?
Yes. Or at least sleeping. Thanks, Cameron.
Oh, that kind of sleeping. Got it. Is his shoulder bandaged up like really tight, or like is it something that I could easily take a look at without like?
I would go ahead and say that you would know how to take it off, and they got to be cleaned anyway, so you could just change the bandages, get a look at this thing.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to do that then. Try and
Okay.
just take a look at the wound and
Yeah, first aid roll for
redress
that.
it for him.
Yeah.
First aid?
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my other D.
No worries.
62. That's a pass. My first aid is 70. So.
I was gonna say, I thought that his. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Tight.
Okay.
Right. So, you start unraveling this the bandage pretty carefully. These sores continue even under the bandages, which is odd to you. They look almost like they'd be caused by an allergy, but after noting his sheet, you don't see any listed allergies. But then you also assume if he was unconscious when he came here, maybe they just didn't have his medical information on file yet. But as you start unraveling this, you get the bandages off. You see this wound. It's gaping. At first it looks pretty mangled. They've done their best to like sew it up. But it's horrific to see. Like, it's worse than you're expecting. I need you to do a medicine roll to try to determine what kind of injury this is.
Okay. 18.
So, getting past the part where it's horrifying and kind of stinks a little bit. It's kind of like sticking to the bandages and stuff. It almost looks like he was mauled by an animal. Like, you've seen things like this from like people being mauled by like lions and things like that, but larger. Like, the teeth on it must have been massive. Like, if this was a lion, it was like the biggest fucking lion you've ever seen.
Holy shit, okay.
In fact, it's so bad that you're incredibly surprised that he survived, especially given how close it was to his heart. Like, a few inches to the left and you'd just be, or to the right and you'd be done.
So it's like pretty much his whole shoulder, like his
yeah.
upper chest, upper shoulder, and then like his arm and everything like that.
Totally, yeah. And these little sores are like everywhere. Cameron, why don't you give me a hard or extreme constitution check here? I just want to see if you wake up.
Okay. See if
I have John's stuff in front of me.
Oh, that's a pass. I mean, that's a fail. It's a 59 and 6. I mean, if it's a regular, I would have passed, but since it's hard, it's a fail.
Okay. So, while you start to, you're like examining the shoulder, you like lift the arm a little bit to get a look under the like armpit. John stirs a little bit, but kind of falls back into his slumber. And then you want to readjust the ruin, right?
Yeah. And is there any way, maybe with a medicine roll, if I know anything, like have I seen these sores before or anything similar to them?
Yeah, you can give me a medicine roll for that.
Okay. 21. All right.
Okay, so the most similar things you've seen, it almost resembles hives at first, but not quite. It made you think of allergies at first, but as you lean in and get a closer look, it's more reminiscent of like bed bug bites, like you'd get like with an infestation in an uncleanly like hotel or something, but like 1,000 times worse. I'd like to finish dressing the wound and then kind of just touch the side of his head for a minute and just kind of, just pump some positive energy into him, and then I'd like to see if his belongings are in the room.
Wait,
like
what?
Clothes.
Pump some positive energy. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, that's like as a doctor, like just like give him some.
Oh,
like,
I thought that was sexual.
No, stop.
Sorry.
No.
Oh dear God.
No,
Eat your fucking cheese.
Eat the cheese.
Just say to me.
He said, "Eat your fucking cheese sandwich."
Okay, well.
And I'd like to see if if John's belongings are in the room, like his clothes that he had on when he was admitted, or his belongings and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me spot hidden.
Okay. That is a 1.
Nice.
You
Yes,
see
That's
everything.
all fire.
There's a small water closet attached to this room. It's kind of like a premium room for longer stays. And his clothes are actually hanging up on the door. And not only do you find them, but it's readily apparent that these are definitely the ones he was wearing that fucking night, because the coat is just torn to shreds.
Right.
That whole upper left part is just soaked in blood and just ripped up. But they haven't thrown it out yet. Let's
Sorry,
see.
go ahead.
Trying to think of what else that warrant, like getting a 1 on that really warrants. Like, I'm trying to give you something good, but I just don't really have anything.
Okay.
Like, they're all there, yeah.
I'm just trying to look for, like any signs of, like based on, because Roger told me that he was like confused about time travel or something. So I just want to see if there's anything funny going on, like with his belongings, or like maybe if there's anything in his pockets or anything just looks kind of out of the ordinary.
What did you have on you, Cameron, when all that went down?
I think I had my gun, because I always did. I had my knife, because I always have those with me. My cane, obviously, and then just my regular clothes, I think.
Yeah, so
I don't know how much.
Anything on him.
Yeah, because I probably would have dropped the cane, or it's probably still in the hotel room. I don't know if the gun was still on me. It probably, I don't know if it fell or something. I don't know.
I imagine
The knife's
they
probably still
keep,
on me.
I think they keep it confiscated, but like
Okay.
it's like in your name and stuff. I don't think they just have it in the room.
Gotcha. What about the cane, though?
That's fine.
The cane is the cane is in there for sure. Probably leaning in the corner of that water closet. There is a note from Leslie in the pocket that's like a get well soon thing, like on a little piece of paper, and it has like a really shaky drawn smiley face on it. And then it says his room number on it as well.
Okay. I mean, I guess if I don't really find anything out of the ordinary there, probably just find the nurse and try and just tell her to take extra special care of John, and then I'm gonna head out.
The thing does have Leslie's room number on it, right?
Yeah, that note had.
And
it has Leslie's note.
weren't Benjamin and Leslie also in the same room?
Yeah, they're sharing a room.
Yeah, because they also time traveled, and they're also staying at that hospital.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
He doesn't know this from looking at that.
Well,
note.
I know, but like from a meta sense, if they were like, if you thought it was like room number, like hotel room number, or room number as in hospial bed
Well, it's
room number.
definitely a hospital bedroom number. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Just clarify.
Yeah. Correcto. Where do you want to head, Petrovich?
Well, I mean, should I go to Leslie and Benjamin's room? I don't
You know from looking over John's sheet that Leslie is the one that admitted him. And the nurse did tell you that himself and another gentleman are staying at the hospital at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can head that way real quick. But I'm also trying to get to the theater too. So I'm like,
Yeah.
but I'll
watching the
make
clock.
time for it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll make time for it.
Sure. They're on a different floor, but they're sharing a room. When you enter, Benjamin is staring out the window. Leslie is sleeping in his bed, which is closer to the hallway, and he's got like a little kind of table, like a bed table. It's like covered in just empty bowls of Jell-O, and he's like passed out sleeping and just snoring really loudly.
Okay. Hello? Who's there? Benjamin's gonna like look over and see if he can. There's like those curtain dividers, yeah?
Correcto, yes.
Okay, yeah. He's gonna look around and see if he can see who's walked in.
Okay, and yeah, so I wouldn't know, right? Dr. Petrovich and Benjamin never met, right?
Yeah, they did. He offered
they?
him a cigarette, and then Benjamin went and washed his hands,
Oh, that's
and then
right.
came back and gave him this, and just like, no, I don't need it.
Sorry.
It was a while ago, though.
Yeah, that was forever ago. My bad.
Like 2 months.
I like it.
Okay.
All right. So I'll kind of just like slowly enter the room. Leslie, is that you?
No, this is Benjamin. Leslie's sleeping. Dr. Petrovich, is that you?
Yes, it's me. I was just visiting John. There was a note with his belongings, so I figured I'd come see how Leslie was doing. I didn't realize you were here as well.
Yeah. We had a bit of a scrap, but I think we're doing all right. How's John doing? I haven't been able to check on him.
He's, to be honest, not very well off. He's very badly injured. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you said scrap, but I don't know what.
I guess
What's
that is a bit of an
happened?
understatement. Close the door, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened.
All right, Dr. Petrovich just kind of quickly looks outside the hall, left and right, to make sure there's no one around, and then closes the door.
Okay. So, full disclaimer. This is gonna sound crazy. I know I sound crazy. And I'm pretty sure no one else is gonna believe us. But we were attacked by some sort of large flying worm thing. It was about 40 feet long.
Sanity roll.
I don't think it's a sandy roll for him. It just
because
sounds
he's
like
not gonna
bullshit.
believe it.
I just
He's
get
not gonna
excited.
believe it, yeah.
I just get excited about it. Continue.
So, and it attacked John.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again? A large flying worm?
Well, it was more like an eel.
Okay.
Picture a moray eel with bat wings, and it's 40 feet long, and it tried to eat John. I'll put it very bluntly. We got out because
Were you
Now,
swimming in
remember-
the ocean?
No, this was in our hotel. It was flying, mind you. It has the wings. It was, let's see. You're not gonna believe me, alright, but I have this, box. Well, I had this box. It is no longer with us. I had this box, and, it's a long, complicated process, but I kind of made, it's like a doorway. You know what I mean? It's like a doorway, but it goes to somewhere else, but it's not a door. So we jumped into it, and I would say, miscalculated. I was in a rush, but we ended up at my old apartment the day beforehand, in the morning.
So you have a box, and
No, I don't have the box. The box was destroyed by the giant flying eel with wings. That ate John's shoulder.
right, the box was destroyed.
Really
Okay.
crazy.
During this conversation, Dr. Petrovich makes his way to the foot of the bed and has pulled Benjamin's chart and is checking the
By the way,
medications
Benjamin is finding random points in this just funny, just telling the story. He's finding things hilarious.
So he's laughing.
laughing.
He's
So
telling
my
this.
laughter is legitimately his laughter.
Makes you sound even more crazy.
That's what I'm going for.
It's just as I'm reviewing your medication list. So the box is destroyed, and so how did you escape from this flying monster?
Like I told you, we went through the gate. The gate was the box, which is the doorway.
I thought you said it was a door. I'm
It's a
confused.
doorway.
I'm sorry.
It's called a gate, but you're uneducated in the subject. I don't blame you.
Jeez.
And,
Fucking Benjamin, man. I hate
What an asshole.
Yes,
Asshole.
yes. You are correct. I am the uneducated one here. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, hey, I am a doctor too. Mine is just more specialized to my area of expertise,
barely.
whereas yours is non-applicable. Anyways.
Jesus.
As we were saying,
There's
all right. Look, I told you it's gonna seem crazy. Honestly, I think I'm going crazy. I know Leslie. I mean,
I would have to
don't
say
know.
that you are pretty fucking insane, to be honest. I need
just
to
laughing.
find the nurse and get it up to date
no.
medication list because clearly they've given you something that's
Oh,
made
Dr.
you
Petrovich.
hallucinate in some way.
I'll tell you now, I'm not taking anything. And I am perfectly sane. But what I have seen is real. And, I think it's just scratching the surface.
I would like
And
a
then he rolls back,
psychology roll from,
and then,
from Petrovich. Sorry,
he
continue.
rolls- Okay, so then he rolls back and looks out the window. Now, if you decide to believe what I'm saying, I will continue to talk to you.
Humor him.
Holy shit.
It's not that I don't
a
believe
big
you.
roll.
I'm just having.
Psychology roll, boy!
Alright, fuck
Don't
it.
call him boy.
He's like
Sit in
50
more.
years
You've
older than
upset
you.
me.
Shit, boy.
That is a 27 right there.
So,
Oh,
it is your
very
professional
nice.
opinion that, especially considering once you consult his chart and realize that he's right, he's not currently on any medication except for some mild painkillers, that he should be on medications that he's not on, and or should be institutionalized immediately before he hurts someone or himself.
So I don't believe the story at all.
You don't believe any of it.
That's great. Oh my god, I love it.
Oh, poor Benjamin.
I know.
Was it Benjamin, right? clearly I'm not qualified to continue this conversation.
Oh, clearly, I can tell.
Yes, clearly I am the unqualified one here. Would you like a cigarette or anything before I leave the room?
No.
Is there anything else I can do for you? I appreciate your story, but clearly something is just not right.
Well, if you want to do something for me, you can go get Leslie some more Jell-O. He tends to eat quite a bit of it. If you'd like to make yourself useful.
Oh my god.
Right, well, I'm not a fucking butler. But I take out my pen and I make notes in the chart and then put it back.
Benjamin's just sitting there like, may the bridges I burn light my way.
Yes, Dylan! Woo!
Good
I like to imagine
man.
Dr. Petrovich just whispering on his best, this fucking ass.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm going for.
Oh my god.
Dr. Petrovich lights a cigarette and flicks it at the oxygen tank. No, just kidding.
Dr. Petrovich is my hero right now. What a great job.
He's saying what
I
we're all
know, dude.
thinking.
I love it, dude. You're doing great. Also, I'd like to say I'm trying to bring out the fact that Benjamin's lost like
That's
40
true.
sanity.
She's
well
trying to
done.
be-
Well
he's trying to
done.
be helpful.
Yeah.
No, for real, it's good.
Yes, in
No,
that
but
sense,
the-
well done.
So yeah,
Thank
because
you.
there was no like you explaining the context of the story. It's just you fully in that story. So it's like,
Yes.
from my point of view, you're not like it worked. It worked great.
It's like a man ravings of a madman over here.
Yeah.
So what you have to do now, Petrovich? You want to catch up to Roger and just leave Benjamin to convalesce in his decrepit mind?
As I'm like obviously done with the conversation, and then I'm just kind of thinking as I'm walking towards the door, and I kind of just want to turn back to Benjamin and just Benjamin, just say there was a reason. I would believe you. Would you have any proof? You said the box was destroyed. There's no longer a gate or doorway or whatever you called it. Would you be able to prove your story in any way?
Benjamin turns around slowly. I could show you. That's all he says.
You can show me.
Yes, I could show you. Not here, of course. I would need time to prepare. And obviously I would not want to alarm any of the hospital staff by a sudden disappearance. So I will have to wait until I am released. Thank you, Dr. Petrovich.
Okay, well, if you want to take this time to prepare, I will meet with you again, possibly. In the meantime, I will have the nurses make the necessary adjustments to your medications. Have a great day.
That was funny.
Up in Harlem, Roger, you're getting closer to the theater.
I am. That's true.
Traffic is shit, mostly because of the weather. They haven't managed to clear all the roads, so it's just like icy slick nonsense. People are driving like maniacs.
I'm by myself, right?
Correct.
Correct. Thank you.
Would you like to get out and just walk the rest of the way?
Yeah,
Like a
I
block
don't.
away
I
at
don't
this
want to
point.
deal with this cab driver. Like, all right, thanks. I just kind of throw money at him and then fuck off.
Sure. You find under the marquee at the Lafayette Theater, Reggie is standing there. He's kind of bloody nose. He's wiping at every now and then. Standing there with a much larger black man. that
I
you
don't
do
know
not
who he is,
recognize.
right? Yes.
You
okay,
don't,
yes.
but you know that he told you about the situation.
Who told me about it?
You asked Reggie
Okay, so I know
for somebody
Reggie.
to watch your back. So you know Reggie. You don't know the bigger guy.
Got it. And Reggie's there.
Yep, they're both there.
Do I recognize Reggie? Shall I roll for it?
Oh, you recognize him.
Okay. So I see Reggie. Oh! Reggie! I raised my hand up in the air because of all the people going by. Reggie, you see me?
Roger, how's it going?
Yes! Yes! Come on over! I'm over here. I kind of move towards him and kind of bring him to me at the same time to kind of...
My man, how you doing? Oh, my nose.
I'm all right. How you doing? I talked to you, what, the other day? How have you been?
Good, I mean, I just got in a fight with this big motherfucker.
You got in a fight? What'd you get in a fight for?
So,
This big boy freaking insulted my friend here, Bear. And then
Bear? His name is Bear, really?
So he reaches up, his hand out to shake his hand. How you doing, sir? You can call me Honey Bear.
I shall shake his hand. Oh, Mr. Bear, is it? What's your name?
You can. Well, my name is Gene Garvin, but only my mama calls me that. You can call me Honey Bear.
Gene Garvin. Okay, Mr. Honey Bear. Okay, Honey Bear.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
say Bear? Can I say Bear? Like, it seems so much quicker. Can I do that if that's all right with you?
So he leans over.
For a long time.
He leans over to Reggie. Reggie, I don't know if this is gonna work if you can't call me Honey Bear. You know that's my one thing.
Roger, you're gonna have to call him Honey Bear. That's what he goes by. Just respect.
What? What? So
you want help or not, Roger?
Honestly, at this point, it's hard to tell. So you're telling me I gotta call this man Honey Bear? I gotta call him Honey Bear.
Look, sir, that's my stage
All right.
name.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine.
Player.
That's your name.
On,
I
Roger.
just.
I thought you were a respectable man. Come on.
No, you're right. You're right. I apologize. It's just. Listen, man. I've been through so much. These past 2 days have been. God, like.
Tell me some Andre the Giant type motherfucker just punched me in the
that's
nose.
the least of
man.
our concerns. Is what you went through.
You
I'm
are
not
Mr.
saying that.
Roger, right?
Yes, Mr.
You would not
Honey Bear.
believe this man Reggie. He is gonna do good work for you. I tell you. He just knocked out Eugene Eckler. You know that? You know the boxer?
Who's Eugene? Dylan, can I roll to see who Eugene Eckler is?
You know Eugene.
You know
Eugene.
It's Eugene.
He's kept in touch with you, dude.
It's Eugene Eckler. It was
Eugene,
it was the guy that carried around Benjamin for half the prologue.
I don't know. I honestly don't. I have no idea who the fuck that is.
How do you
don't
know?
remember
Eugene?
I don't remember that. Personally, I don't remember that at all.
Dude, Eugene was like one of the main
you mean
characters.
Eugene?
Yes.
Oh, that Eugene. I
Eugene.
You gave him a last name and that threw me off. Sorry.
How much whiskey? How much scotch have you had tonight?
First of all, you don't mention that while we're filming. Secondly, I didn't know it was the Eugene. I thought it was another character name.
It is.
Yes,
It is
the Eugene became a heavyweight champion boxer.
Yes, I now remember that as you're speaking it,
good.
which now insults me.
Okay, good.
All right, so I know who you're talking about. Wait, what? Knocked out Eugene? What do you mean? Hold on. You mean that big guy that I
man,
gave
this
the
is
knuckle
bigger than
dusters
I
to?
am.
Like the big knuckle things? Like you may not have
big
seen
motherfucker.
those. You knocked him out?
It was a clean fight, man. I didn't use my knuckles either.
Hold on, Mr. Honeybear. You knocked him out?
No. Reggie knocked him out. He bumped
Well,
into
then-
me, and I didn't want any problems after I saw how.
Reggie,
on
what do I
account of
need
his
Mr.
size.
Honeybear for then? This giant man. Like, why did I just take you?
Power
Well,
in numbers, man.
Wait, you're both.
Power
I thought I paid for one of you. I didn't realize I paid for both of you.
You asked if I had anyone else that could help out. Do you not remember?
Well, yeah, I thought I meant like to pay for someone else to assist me, not both of you. I mean, granted, I'm not denying the assistance. I could probably really use it, but I was unaware. I'm sorry.
Bear, I'm
Look,
sorry
Mr.
about
Roger,
this, man. I don't know
if
what's
you
going on
need-
here.
If you need me to do a job, I will do it. I never turn down work opportunity.
Hey, Dylan, did I hire both of them or one of them?
You hired Reggie at first for something else, but he's kind of sticking around to help with the investigation. And then you were paranoid after going to Hell's Kitchen and
Yes.
wanted basically a bodyguard. And Reggie said he
Yes.
might be able to help with that. And then he's like, let me just go talk to my friend.
So I have two giant men at my disposal, Dylan?
Reggie's not really a giant. But he's-
Okay, fantastic! Alrighty, gentlemen. We've got a situation to brew. Now, I could use both of you. I could use one of you. I could use none of you. I don't know what the situation is. But currently, I need to go talk to a young lady. And it would be very beneficial if one or both of you would come and assist me in this task.
All right, are you talking like a bodyguard?
Yes,
situation?
I could very much use a bodyguard. I had a situation earlier, required one. He wasn't there. Bad things happened. I prevailed. Here we are.
You can see the
So
shine
you want me to, like-
readily apparent on his face.
Okay, so you want me to like scout out rooms? You look like you're about to piss your pants.
Well,
Just talking about
yes,
it.
okay, not piss my pants. Oh, that's unnecessary, sir. But yeah, it
Sorry
might be
for
nice to have
my
someone to lean forward and be someone who could do such things. Maybe look ahead for me. That would be great. Are you available in such capacity?
Oh, I can do that. Do I need to bring my piece?
Honestly, if you want to, that's fine. I don't know what's necessary at this point. The most protection we have, the better. So if you need a piece to
I'm
bring,
always said better safe than sorry.
yes,
Oh no,
yes,
don't
what
worry.
Reggie said.
I got my
like
own.
what Reggie said.
He opens his jacket to show a sawed-off shotgun he keeps in the coat.
Oh shit! Is that board properly? Can I see it real quick?
I'd prefer not in.
I'd
public,
like to
so-
lean in, Dylan, and kind of take a look at it, like down the barrel, like an amateur,
Okay.
All right, now
just to see if, like,
Give me
as
a
a
mech repair
scientist,
roll to see how much you can.
I would like to
garner from the
prepare a roll. What should I roll?
mechanical repair.
I can do that. Mechanical repair. I rolled a 31, which is a defiant pass.
So it's not like it looks more like an antique. It looks like this guy's been carrying this thing around for a while. It's very well used. It doesn't look
was
like
his
it's
dad's.
non-functional, but it doesn't look great. Like it's not one that you would pick up off the shelf and use.
Well, hey, God, sir, it's a weird thing. On our way, we got to go somewhere. When we on our way, can I take a look at this for a moment? Just me? Would that be okay with you?
yeah, that'd be mighty fine, sir.
Okay,
Are you,
good.
Are you some
All right.
sort of gunsmith or something?
Yeah, I've done such work in the past, but I'll talk to you about it when we're on our way. So I go outside and I kind of try to wave down a cab to get us where we got to go, Dylan.
You are where you have to go. Do you not
Then
remember?
I don't need to do that. Then I didn't know why I did that, Dylan.
I don't know
But
how
I
you did
wanna-
that either.
Something was wrong with me.
I want to say
Okay.
to Roger, I'll say, what do you think about this too? And I'll show him my 38 revolver that I have.
Oh shit, that's illegal in this state, dude. What are you showing me that for? You can't just carry that. Oh no, I get it. Hold on, we got
I think
problems.
it's shot off sock. It's legal either, man.
No, we got problems. It's not either. We got problems, and you're right. I didn't expect you to have one, Reggie.
You
I'm
want to be
sorry.
safe or you want to be legal?
No,
man? That's
no,
all
you're
I'm saying.
right. No, Reggie, you're right. You've always been right since the day I met you. It's nothing to do with you. You're right.
Especially
Your
about that
friend is
fuck
right.
Leslie.
Yes.
That motherfucker.
Leslie Visser, you remember that
How are you
fucking
friends with that bitch?
cabbage-eating piece of shit?
Australian garage destroyed.
No, he's not.
Sleeping on my
That's
couch,
the-
motherfucker.
That's
Wait,
the
no,
worst
he's not
part.
Australian.
He's not Australian.
He
He's
sounded Australian.
He's like New Zealand-ish or
Oh,
almost
that's even
even like
worse.
South African. Like it's a weird Southern Hemisphere dialect.
Boy, you told me
that
he was an Aussie. I pictured those guys.
No, he's
being
definitely not
absolutely
Aussie. That's
crazy.
for sure. I've done some research.
Between
and
him
then
and the
I
half
coughed.
man, there's half a brain between the two of them. I tell you.
All right, now real
Yeah,
quick.
listen, stop,
Before
stop.
we get
Okay.
started, hold on. Who is this half man? Because if this is gonna be
You'll
some
never
sort of clown
you'll never
show,
really see him. It's not going to matter. Right now, I need you to make sure I'm not attacked. That's your
I can
job.
do that for you, sir.
Okay, then you and I, we are at an accord. Fantastic. I would love to pay you for that, personally. Okay, so Dylan, I try to push through and just go into the. I want to say auditorium, but that I feel like is an inappropriate word.
Okay. Petrovich, did you want to try to head that way? He did tell you that he was going to the Lafayette Theater, I think.
Yeah, after that encounter, that I was planning on making my way that way. So
Roger, you hired both of us, right?
Yes, I did. At this point, yes, of course.
So,
Cool.
Petrovich, you're en route.
okay.
You head on inside to the Lafayette Theater, guys. Do you want to go first, Roger, or are you sending them ahead?
No. It's supposed to be an appropriate meeting, I would like to go with them right behind me.
We'll look
Okay.
in conspicuous. Just kind of.
So Honey Bear is basically like
Honey Bear is on my
right
back
behind
left.
you.
Reggie is
Yeah.
on my back right. That's kind of how I
Alright.
envision it going into this meeting,
Yes, and he is stuck to you like glue. He's taking this job
which
very
is
seriously.
fantastic.
I feel like Honey Bear's keeping more of a close perimeter, while Reggie's kind of keeping more back up a little bit, kind of watching big picture kind of thing.
Okay, makes sense. So you head on into the lobby. This is a pretty smart lobby, and where all the ticket booths and the cloakrooms are. Rebecca Schusenberg is standing in there, beside an African American woman. She looks pretty elegant, actually.
Looks good, huh?
And she has relatively fine features.
I'd like to be distracted by it in a sense, and I'd like to lean back and tell the two gentlemen with me, that's Rebecca Schusenberg, and she's our friend. And then kind of walk back to where I was going.
So he nods.
Okay.
Just
Rebecca sees you coming and goes, "Oh, Mr. Lynch, you've arrived. I thought you might be a little late because of the weather."
Oh, no, ma'am. I made sure of it. I came a little bit early just to make sure, and honestly, it worked out perfectly. Thank you for inviting me.
"Is this who you talked about?" Millie
Yes.
asks to the other, asks Schusenberg. And then she
Nice
looks
to
at
meet
you.
ma'am. And he reads right in.
Millie Adams.
Honey Bear.
This is Honey Bear. Ish. I don't know what his first name is. It escapes me, but Honey Bear is a good name for him. He works really well, just like a honey bear.
Well, actually, they call me Honey Bear on account
And
of
this is Reggie, my
big-
friend over here. I took the right side. I kind of just interrupted because I don't want it to get weird. This is Reggie. Reginald, I believe is his full name. I kind of wink at Reggie. I don't know if that's his real name or
Pleasure
not.
to meet you, ma'am.
Reginald, yes. Thank you, ma'am, for meeting us.
Of course, why don't you come on in here? And she leads you past these the cloakrooms basically into the stalls, into the main auditorium.
As we go in, I'd like to turn to Honey Bear and go, eyes open. Just to make sure, because he's Reggie, like, not Reggie, fucking, he's, what's my character's name, Bill?
Roger.
Sorry, can I ask a question out of game real quick?
Yeah, what's
course.
up?
So why is Roger so paranoid?
He got the
been
snot
locked
beat
up.
out of him.
Yeah.
Because he got the shit beat out of him when he was alone last time, so he's like...
So when you after Emerson Imports, when you got the shit beat out of you, is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay? Sorry, I just wanted to clarify that.
That's
that was
fine.
like
I'm cool
that
with
was
that.
literally
Give me time
like
to think.
that was like literally the day before. So like he's
Right.
I feel like, just to say, I feel like Reggie's kind of like on the outskirts, kind of just like circling and kind of just making sure like nothing looks weird or anything.
like hanging out at the doors to the auditorium.
Yeah, kind of the door and kind of like just walking the perimeter and keeping an eye on Roger, but also like trying to like make sure nothing looks out of the ordinary.
So yeah,
Okay,
and Honey
I
Bear
can
is
see that.
just his shadow.
Honey Bear is close. I want Honey Bear close to me. I want Reggie a distance to see what's going on. So, okay, so I recognize that. I make sure I tell Honey Bear, eyes open, just to see things are happening. Because, of course, Roger
And you just nod.
doesn't trust anything that's occurring. Even though he should, he just doesn't. All right, Miss Adams, thank you so much for seeing me. I really appreciate it. This is my friend, Honey Bear. Don't let the name fool you. He's a very competent individual, as far as I'm concerned. But he's there to help us, and I think he'll make transition between us very smooth.
She smiles and kind of nods, but doesn't say anything until the staff are kind of out of the way. But there's several various cleaners and other members of the staff. They smile and greet her by name as she passes. They lead you down to basically the front row in the main auditorium. The house lights are fully
this is
up,
nice.
by the way. She shows you right down to the center. It's a pretty nice auditorium. There are also several balcony seats, like box balcony seats, kind of overlooking it.
It looks nice. Yeah.
Milia kind of takes stock of you and kind of leans against the stage. Rebecca says that I can trust you, but I'm not so sure yet. She says you're capable, that you might be able to
Yes.
help me, but I don't know anything about you or your friends.
To be fair, ma'am, I don't know about my friends either. Like, these men were kind of short notice. I was attacked recently. I don't know if Miss Schusenberg told you, but I was attacked almost on the way from her. I was going somewhere else and I was just attacked. And yeah, I'm not really too happy with the way things have been playing out. But I gotta be honest with you, if you could trust anyone, it's me. I want to know what happened more so than these bullshit police officers that say they care about you and your husband.
Well, you can say that again. And she
I
kind of
would, but I forgot about it.
she like rolls her eyes.
Yes.
They haven't believed a
Not
single
to
thing
say.
I've said.
Now, why do you think that is, Miss Adams?
Well, seeing as how Robson is probably in league with these men, these corruptible people. He's probably the most corrupt cop this side of the city, as far
Which
as I'm
one?
concerned. And, what do you mean, which one?
Well, I just want to know which one she's specifically talking about.
Robson? She mentioned Captain Robson.
Captain Robson. Okay, I just thought she was talking about someone else. You're right. That's the one that I don't like. Let me write him down, Dylan.
So you were jumped. Well, what are you in town for?
I had a friend of mine. He died. He died in a manner that befit your husband's modus operandi, and I was wondering
Now,
if you could
excuse me,
provide some insight.
but he
Yes,
didn't
ma'am.
kill any of those people.
Honestly, after talking to Miss Schusenberg here, I don't believe he did either. I think something else is for something larger, and I was wondering if you could help me almost reveal this something larger.
No, Rebecca told me she told you some, but not all. I suppose I
Yeah,
can
I
trust
mean-
you for the time being, but I have stipulations attached to it.
What stipulations do you refer? Ma'am.
If we're going to do this, I would like you to do your damnedest to uncover evidence that exonerates my husband.
That goes without saying, ma'am. My friend was killed. My friend who brought me back from a level of poverty I can't even describe to you. He did this for me, and I found him dead in his room. I'll tell you right now, I'll do whatever it takes. Is that understood?
Well, that is my main condition, and if you are amenable to that, then I suppose that we can get into this, but I'm still not comfortable yet.
Understand.
Petrovich, you are arriving outside the Lafayette Theater at this point.
Okay.
The sun is well and down. You haven't been to Harlem in a hot minute. The last time you were there was when you came with Roger to check out that art shop. And there's a placard up on the theater that says, "The House of Good Plays, the Lafayette Theater. Harlem's biggest, coolest playhouse. See men and women of your own race in Broadway dramas. Good play
Jesus.
every week. Seats reserved 6 weeks in advance."
Okay. Do I see anybody outside?
I mean, there's people milling about in general, but nobody that catches your eye or any that you recognize.
Okay. And Roger didn't give me any specific meeting place at the theater over the phone, so.
Nope.
I guess I'll just slowly kind of make my way through the crowd and kind of just try and wander into the lobby of the theater, looking for Roger.
One of the It could be like a valet or like a cleaner comes up to you. Oh, excuse me, sir, we're closed.
Closed. I'm sorry that it must be a mistake. I'm meeting my friend here.
What's your friend's name?
He goes by Roger.
He looks over his shoulder at another worker. Roger, is that the guy that Millie's meeting with tonight? Yeah, I think so. I think they're over in the auditorium.
Which way is that?
They point to the main doors off to the left at kind of after a little slope downward.
Very good. Thank you. Just light a cigarette as I head that way.
Reggie, you notice the door open immediately, and this older white fellow smoking a cigarette comes in that you've never seen before.
I help you, sir?
Yes, the gentleman outside pointed me this way. I'm supposed to meet Roger here. Do you know Roger?
How do you know Roger?
Real quick, does Honey Bear see this happening? Just as he's standing by Roger.
Give me, what's your spot hidden?
Spot hidden is the base spot hidden, which is 25. So
I'm gonna go ahead and say you hear it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do a listen roll?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 50, and my listen is 50. So that was a close one.
Yeah, okay. So you hear Reggie talking with somebody at the entrance to the auditorium.
So he's gonna lean over to Roger. Mr. Roger, were you expecting company?
What company? What are you talking about? I'm in the middle of a conversation here.
Oh, we got someone trying to come in here.
I wasn't necessarily expecting anyone. What's going on?
Millie and Schusenberg both look up the way and go, "Is this gentleman with you? I thought we were meeting alone. You bring three other men here." She points up the auditorium, like the little, the path right up the center. And Petrovich is up there smoking.
That's what you mean, Dylan. So I can see Petrovich now.
Yeah. Now that your attention's been brought to it, yeah.
Oh, yes. I'd like to step up, grab him, and push him outside of the curtains, just to kind of give him a one-on-one real quick, on what's going on. Because he seems slightly lost.
You know this man, Roger?
Yes, Roman. What are you doing here?
You told me to meet you here. I don't know.
Yes, but not in the middle of my negotiation. I'm talking to the young lady here about her husband's murders, and you just came in. Like, what do you tell me about it? Like, why do I notice this now?
Mr. Roger, you need me to take him outside?
No, honey, no, I'm Honey Bear. Sorry, I didn't mean to be disrespectful. No, we're fine. This is Roman Petrovich. He's my friend. He's a good man. But he did not show up when I expected him to.
I'm his doctor. Yes.
Yes, he's a lot of our doctors. But he's the yes. Yeah,
Reggie relaxes.
Roger, I'm sorry I didn't realize you were in the middle of something. You just told me to meet you here. You were very frantic. I will wait outside and finish my cigarette.
No, stay here. You're right. I apologize. Sorry, doctor. I have a lot of things on my mind. Just stay with me. You could maybe help me with this young lady. You're a doctor, and that might assist me at some point when we talk about his mental state. Just be aware of that, okay?
Okay.
Okay, come with me.
Whatever you need. I don't want to be in any trouble.
That's fine. No, come with me. So I'll walk back through the curtains, Dylan. Millie, this is, can I call you Millie? Is that all right?
I prefer Mrs. Adams.
Mrs. Adams,
what is going on?
Mrs. Adams, this is my friend. His name is Dr. Roman Petrovich. Very important doctor. I sound like Trump. Very important doctor. That I know. He's a good friend of mine, and I feel like he could help kind of come to the conclusion whether your husband was or wasn't involved in the murders.
I don't know.
I didn't know he would show up right now.
I don't know why I agreed to this.
No,
she's like getting upset.
No,
Rebecca's like, no, he was at Mr. Elias's funeral as well. It'll be okay. Just give them a chance.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, fine. Nobody else is going to walk through that door, though, are they?
No. And as I say that, I look over at friggin' Honey Badger, or whatever the fuck. Honey
I'll look over
Bear.
at Reggie. Reggie's the one watching the perimeter.
Reggie and Honey Bear, I kind of look both of you, and I was like, yep, no one's coming back through.
I like nod.
they-
I like that idea.
They get the idea. I feel like they get the idea, and I kind of look back at Millie Adams.
All right, well, maybe we should sit down and try this again.
Yes. All right, Miss Adams, I have a few questions. Nothing too strenuous, and I do apologize for the nature of our incident as it comes to bear. But what do you know about your husband's whereabouts during the night of the murders, or that murder in particular?
Well, he was arrested in September last year.
Yes.
Found standing over the body in a dingy alley.
Yes.
And the police, allegedly alerted by the screams of this person, claimed to have seen him throw away a bloody knife when they confronted him. And
Did
this
they ever
knife...
find that knife, ma'am?
Well, see, it was his army issue bolo. It was reportedly recovered from the scene, but he did not take it with him, I promise you that.
How do you know he didn't take it with him, ma'am?
Because it was at home with me.
Okay.
But it did
And
end
you-
up forming the crux of the prosecution's case against him, and it sure did not look good.
Jesus. Well, if he didn't kill this individual, then what was he doing there? Do you know?
Well, now this goes back quite a few years.
Okay.
But it was around when everybody started to disappear several years ago.
Yeah. Heard about that.
As the number of people vanishing increased, Hilton turned to a group of friends. The saloon they all hung out at Teddy's down the road. They all served together in the war, the Harlem Hellfighters. I don't know if you've heard of them, but...
I have not.
Well, they began organizing patrols to try and protect members of the community, alongside trying to figure out who was responsible for these disappearances, especially after the police, the 14th Precinct, refused to take it seriously.
Yes, I've heard about them.
So, well, that was part of his patrols.
So he went there and he found a murdered individual and the cops just pinned it on him?
That's what I believe. I believe they either had no idea and this was just the easiest solution to their problem, or they're corrupt and whoever's really behind it paid him off. I don't know for sure, but even after the mutilated bodies started appearing a couple years back, the police still refused to do anything. Kept claiming gang violence and street robberies gone wrong as the cause, but
Yeah, they do that.
you know, despite the pronouncements of that old crackpot, they called him, said it was an East African death cult that really did it.
Wait, hold on. What East African death cult? Do you remember specifically?
No, I don't know the name. I never heard of it, but I know that that doctor had told everyone, had told the paper at least, that that cult was responsible. It might be operating over here, but cops don't take that
Do you
seriously.
know his name?
Lemming, I think.
Lemming?
Dr. Lemming, yeah. Is that right, Rebecca? She nods at you.
Do you know what Dr. Lemming operates out of?
Rebecca answers this. She says, yeah, there's a practice uptown. I interviewed him. I gave you everything that he gave me. You can always visit. I can give you the address later if you really need to.
Okay.
He's a little bit eccentric. I don't think it's really worth your time.
But he was involved to some degree. That seems important.
Whatever you gotta do, but my husband's life is on the line here.
Of
There's
course,
not much
yes.
time.
So this man, testified against your husband?
Well, not as like. He just said that it was likely the machinations of some sort of cult based in East Africa that come over here. He implied that my husband might be a part of it, but I guarantee you that is not the case. Anyway,
Is there any evidence to the contrary? Like, is there anything that shows he's not a part of this cult? Because I've heard rumors of this too.
all I know is that once he found out that a cult might be involved, they started trying to round up more people for these kind of neighborhood watch patrols, and not too many people wanted to get involved. I think they might have been scared of crossing gang activity, like rum runners and some such.
Yeah, that does make sense.
They did manage to turn up some references in the New York Public Library about this cult, but I can't remember what it was called. He tried not to involve me as much as he could. And when he was arrested, the police confiscated his journal with all his notes, fortunately.
They have all of his notes? Oh, that's unfortunate. Hey, ma'am, do you know if it's possible to allow us to talk to Mr. Adams?
Well, we'll see how the rest of the night goes, and maybe we can talk about that.
Okay, so if I'm a good boy, then you'll help me in that sense. Is that right?
I guess you can put it that way.
Okay.
Roger,
Well,
are you
do
just,
whatever I
not
can.
Roger, Petrovich, are you just sitting there quietly smoking this whole time?
Just to mute himself.
Forcibly.
Oh shit, yeah, I did totally mute myself, sorry. Damn it. Yeah, just try not to be too imposing on the conversation, just kind of waiting for the right opportunity if I wanted to interject. But yeah, for right now, just...
So what are you kind of focusing on? Just like listening, trying to see where it goes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I did, I mean, I had a question for Millie, but I didn't, like, I don't want to... I already caused enough of a scene, like, coming in, so I
Okay,
like,
so
want
you're
to make
kinda
sure
like-
that I'm
sure.
I'm trying to be tactful, like...
Okay, especially considering how flustered she was. That's fine.
Yeah, it's like, she was about to, like, bail, so I don't want to...
I'd like to ask a more specific question, now noticing Dr. Pufferidge's... Sorry. Dr. Pufferidge's ambivalence.
Okay.
Ma'am, do you happen to know how these individuals were murdered? And I put in quotes.
Gutted most of the time. Gruesome, terrible, terrible things.
I kind of look at Dr. Pufferidge to kind of spur him forward to ask more if he knows more.
Yes, ma'am, if I may include myself in this conversation. I'm just very intrigued as to the injuries you're talking about. We've had a friend with some very serious injuries as well, and I'm just wondering the type of injuries that you're speaking of.
Well, I believe the police referred to it as long knives, machetes even, just cut open to spill their guts out. Something along those lines. Just the most morbid, terrible thing I've ever heard.
Jesus.
Machetes.
Unlike your friend, is that right? And then she looks to Schusenberg, who's nodding.
To who? I'm sorry.
Oh, the Rebecca Schusenberg. There's another.
Oh yeah, okay.
The other reporter.
Yes, and Roger, you remember Jackson?
Yes, of course.
He had very similar injuries as well.
Yes, he did, which is why we're here.
As far as evidence, I don't have much in the way other than my own testimony, I'm afraid, but I can tell you that the police weren't really too happy with Hilton and his friends going around playing detective.
Hilton and his friends.
Yes, when they were doing all their patrols, they kept warning him about the dangers of stirring up trouble. They kept putting pressure on him and his employers.
Who are his employers?
He's just construction worker. Just blue-collar folk. But
Okay,
I know
fine.
that they were leaning on them, and inevitably they leaned on him, and it was really wearing on him, but he didn't want to give up. It was our community, you know?
No, it's fine, ma'am. I totally understand. Now, I gotta be honest with you. You know, man to woman, I feel like your husband's innocent in this whole deal. I feel like he was framed by someone or some organization or something. I don't know what yet.
I agree, and I think I can point you in the right direction.
Do you think maybe your husband was maybe trying to discover this cult and stop them?
Almost certainly. I know that his main goal was to protect people, but he kept digging, he kept pushing, and it worried me, but I knew that he was right. I knew somebody had to do it, and if the police weren't, why not him?
Yes, exactly. Ma'am, I completely agree with you. Is there a way that maybe we could talk to him about this? Like a way you could arrange some sort of a meeting? I know he's in jail now, and I'll do whatever it takes to get him out of jail if we can find out exactly who did this.
I can try to call him up and see if he would agree to that. I think he might be interested. But I should have you know, we're in a very desperate situation. We don't have that much time left. They're going to cart him over to the electric chair any day now.
Really? But there's been other murders that
The
have
sentence
shown
has
that
been passed.
Okay.
The DA don't much care. They have their man as far as they're concerned.
Then I think we need to work quick. Personally, we need to figure this out now and not wait until it's too late.
Well, I agree. I'm glad that you...
Miss Adams, I also do forensics, and I know you're not a big fan of the precinct, and believe me, I understand where you're coming from. But I do know some individuals, and maybe I can try to help on that avenue as well.
You're willing to try? Be my guest, but it's my experience they turn a blind eye to all those activities, just like any other criminal gangs do. You know, all sorts of rum runners, bootleggers everywhere. They don't care as long as it doesn't affect their bottom line.
So you believe that the 14th precinct is withholding evidence in order to...
Well, they took everything in. I know in my heart they took that knife from our house and used it against him in the trial.
Huh.
They confiscated all that evidence. No, that was his army knife. All the Harlem Hellfighters have them.
He was in the army?
Yes, forget.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, he was
So
in the war.
this man was a hero of this country and is being treated like a third-class citizen.
Finally, someone understands. She kind of like slaps the armrest of her seat.
Wow.
They keep
and just
painting it
Roger's
up.
just disgusted by it.
They keep thinking that they were going to drag Harlem into disrepute if we kept poking around and kept playing it off on white perceptions of black people as uneducated savages.
Goddamn.
It's been the worst. Schusenberg reaches over and places a hand on Millie Adams' shoulder and try to like calm her, and she's tearing up a little bit, and she pulls out a small little kerchief and kind of dabs her eyes a little bit. I know he thought it was a cult, and I know that he thought the police were probably being paid to turn a blind eye to their activities, just like with the rest of the gangs. And I know I overheard him say something to one of his friends before he was arrested. A place, Juju House.
I've heard that before, ma'am. Do you know what his responsibility was in that sense? Like what he was doing with it? Was he looking at it? Was he a part of it? What was going on?
I know that he wanted to look into it, but I don't think he ever got the chance because he was arrested later that night. He was talking to his friend Needham from the war.
Needham? Do you know what his real name is? His whole name?
Needham Johnson. He's a reporter over at the New York Age.
Okay. New York Age, I got it. Okay. Okay, so he's a reporter too. Miss Schutzenberg, do you know this man?
I haven't been introduced to him formally, but I've read his work. It's good.
Do you think he might have some insight into this predicament?
Those foolish friends of his, they won't have anything for you. They stopped patrolling. They just pulled right out as soon as my husband was arrested. They don't care anymore. They don't want the same thing to happen to them. So, I kind of had to take it into my own hands. I've been watching the Juju house
Have you?
for some time now. And I can tell you for certain that there's something very queer going on there.
I don't disagree with you. I've been there recently, and there's
Yes.
been some strange
You went
things
in.
that have occurred. Yes. Me and Dr. Petrovich, of course.
We both did, yes.
Yeah, Dr. Petrovich and I have went in there, and it was oddly calming in a weird way. Like at first we went in there, that was very, very homey. He was very obliging. But as we got further into a conversation,
Talking about that
things
old
started
man,
to-
Silas.
Yes, Silas, exactly. He started to convey weird emotions, things that didn't make sense at the time. Well, at the time it made perfect sense, but then as we look back on it, just were weird. And then there was some sort of weird accident outside of his shop, like down the alleyway into the road. There was like a car accident, and then things got weird. There was a darkness.
I can tell you without a doubt, after watching this place for as long as I have, that there is something going on there. And if what you say is true and you did go in there, then they know about you. And they're going to do everything they can to stop you from finding out the truth.
Yeah, of course they will. Well,
Ma'am, are you close with Silas, or were you
No.
previously?
No, I would never go to that place. I'd never walk in there and show my face there. I've always been keeping a safe distance. Closest I never actually went to ransom court at all. Closest I ever got was inside that tenement building next door.
what tenement building?
And there's a building of apartments right next door to the
Did
ransom
you
court.
find anything odd about it? Anything feel weird?
I stopped going there to stake out the place because I kept getting headaches.
Headaches, huh?
It was weird, like I'd get drowsy. Like I don't know if it was because I was watching all day long or what it was, but
So you would keep watch from the building, the adjacent building, and to the Juju house, but you never.
that's as close as I got. I didn't want to risk showing my face there and getting put on a list or something.
Right.
Yes, I understand, ma'am. That makes a lot of sense. I do one more question for you. After hearing all of this, I find that there is some force against us, you and I, in terms of finding your husband's innocence. And I was still wondering, in the end, could you find a way to get me to talk to your husband?
I'll do
Maybe
that.
he could give me more information about what happened.
I can, and if you do end up meeting him, if he agrees, which I think he will, seeing as how he doesn't have much time left as it is. Don't tell him that I'm looking into this, because he'll get worried.
Of course not, ma'am. No,
He wouldn't approve of it.
no,
And
time.
there's some more that I need to tell you. Something
How much
about
more?
this place. Just some unusual things about this terrible place.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this place, I had never heard of it before he was arrested. But when I overheard that, and then I was just desperate for answers. I wasn't getting them from the police. I wasn't getting them anywhere.
Yes.
So I started watching it. And I noticed that once a month, around 20 or 30 people file into that shop in the early hours of the morning. And the timings of which coincide with when my husband and his friends will go out on their patrols. And
Where do they file into?
into the front door of Juju House.
Okay.
And then they were a mixed bunch, mostly. I swear most of them were tramps and lowlifes, but there were some other people I recognized who could have worked with my husband, you know, like blue-collar types, like construction workers or something. I didn't recognize any of them personally, and, well, I thought that... I swear, it might be an exclusive speakeasy in the basement or something, because I've seen them bring crates in. It must be alcohol or something, but I have this horrible feeling that given the disappearances seem to tie in with those nights, there's something more sinister going on with those crates.
I agree, man. Yes, there's got to be something else. I noticed those crates as well. I think you're on the right track.
And Petrovich, Dr. Petrovich, is that your name?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the police, you should know that I've also seen a few police detectives go into ransom court in the daylight hours, which I suppose isn't necessarily unusual in itself, but I think they might be picking up payoffs from that old man Quayne.
Did you see them enter the Juju house specifically, or just around the court there?
Just the court. I never saw them go in the door, but it can't be a coincidence.
That is definitely a valuable piece of information. Thank you, madam.
Can I get a hard psychology roll from both of you?
Sure.
That's gonna amount to nothing, but okay, I'll do it for you, Dylan.
Have a shot.
I gotta get a 5, dude. I'm not getting a 5. I got a 90.
My dice went off the table, sorry. Damn. That's a 68.
You guys both have that with advantage thing on one roll.
I was literally just thinking about
Do you want to do that?
Only because you asked. I don't think, because
Well,
I obviously got a 5.
I mean,
We
I'm just
both
reminding you that everybody had one tonight and nobody's used it yet, so...
Okay, I
Well,
won't
to be
use
fair.
mine then. I'll wait till later, because I feel like I could use it later.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna use mine, though, because I think I have a decent shot at this roll.
Alright.
That is a 26, baby.
There we go.
Okay, so... You can tell that she's eager to get the story out, and that she's probably given you most of it, of what she knows, but there's something that she's holding back. Like, she's got to, just in her body language, you notice, like, her breath catches, and she'll move on to something different.
Since I don't notice that, I'd like to almost conclude the interview. And tell her, thank you for your time. I appreciate you giving me this time to talk to you. And then I kind of get up out of my seat, and then that gives Dr. Petrovich a time.
Okay. And then I kind of just want to, like, just gently approach her and just ask her, like, I just want you to know that I myself have been there to ransom court, and I have seen some very, very troubling things happen there. Been through a lot in my life, and there's not many things that can rattle me, and surely something there did rattle me. Experiences like I've never had before. So if there's anything that you've seen or that you remember, it really would be helpful to all of us, I think.
Okay, I think that's going to be a hard charm or persuade, if you can.
Fuck, alright.
Which is, sorry, but...
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah, good luck.
Maybe I didn't go the right route. Sorry. That's a 43.
Okay. Do you want to push it? It's up to you.
Chances are.
Very bad.
Yeah.
It's like he's got to get like a 5 or a 7.
Yeah.
Don't push it for that. I don't want anything bad to happen to us. We'll figure something. We got a lot of information.
Yeah, I'm not gonna push it.
As you're getting ready to leave, Roger and Petrovich are whispering to her. She kind of she is kind of nodding along with you, and then smiles faintly when you wrap it up. But you can tell that your words didn't quite reach her. Like there's still something that she was repressing.
Okay.
But she says to you, Roger, his friends, Needham, and the others, Douglas, Art, and Jackie, you might want to try talking to them. They hang out at Teddy's usually during grab a coffee before heading home after work, or maybe dinner sometimes.
Don't worry. Where do they hang out? Sorry, I'm writing all these names
It's
down.
called Teddy's.
It's the bar that Honey Bear and Reggie were at earlier.
Correct.
Oh, that's very
the
convenient.
bar, the club. It's
The club.
A speakeasy.
It's a gentleman's club.
It's a gentleman's
So
club.
Douglas, Art, and Jackie.
Yeah, it's Needham Johnson, Douglas Fells, Art Mills, and Jackie Wallace.
I'll just get those names just the beginning, since I feel like that's all he would know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I need a group luck roll, please.
That'll be me once again because I am a hero and everyone else
We're
is
tied
not.
at luck.
Oh, I'm rolling then because I'm the hero and you're not. You're not even a
No,
real
but
person.
luck switches off for whoever has tied.
Dylan, is that true or is he lying to you?
That's what we did. We would go back and forth when it was tied.
Fine.
89. That's what you get
Yeah,
for
who's
doubting
the
me.
loser now?
I thought that I thought you guys weren't tied anymore because Cam had.
We're both. He had 45. I have 45 too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you had to spend one though.
No, this is Reggie. This is not John.
Right.
yeah, he's not doing jobs. Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So I would like. Let me see here. Listen rolls from Reggie and from Honey Bear.
All right.
Fail. That's
That's
93.
2. Honey Bear got some magic ears.
Wait, did you say 2?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you definitely heard this.
Yes.
In one of the box seats upstairs, as Roger, Millie, Schusenberg, and Petrovich are kind of walking back up through the aisle, you hear somebody drop something,
Uh-oh.
like clank on the floor, and then like a hand swipe to pick it back up, and then footsteps down the hall very quickly towards the lobby.
So Honey Bear is immediately going to go and see if he can intercept who's doing that.
Okay.
Do you
Like, he's
wave
just
me
gonna-
or anything, or just like
he's just
you
gonna-
let it go?
He's just going to take off. Hopefully Reggie sees him just take off.
Reggie, you do see
Sorry,
him
roll
because
perspective.
he's
Okay.
sprinting directly towards you up the aisle towards the main doors where you're standing.
So I want to
He's
like
a
try to.
big
I want to try
guy.
to intercept
Alright.
him and be like, "What's going on, man?"
Somebody else here, let's go. And you-
I'd like to
I'll
inquire
stay- I'll
as
stay
he
with
runs
Roger.
away, and then
Okay.
to no
Yeah,
avail
if you need
because he
anything.
couldn't hear me.
I mean, he probably heard what's going on, and then he's out the door.
Mr. Bear, where you?
and he's gone.
God,
Okay.
Reggie,
so,
who's this guy?
Let's see.
Reggie, did you hear me, or am I talking to nobody?
He's talking
His
to-
bear.
I'm assuming
His
Reggie
bear.
went with him. Did you follow, or did you just?
No, I feel
let
like I'm
him
gonna
by?
stay back. I'm gonna stay back with Roger and try to keep as a bodyguard. Try to keep one person with him at all times.
Mhm.
He heard something, man. He's going after him. Just stay with me.
Doctor, come closer to me. I don't. Nothing bad happening today. Let's just get out of here. We got what we needed.
Okay, I need a dexterity roll from you, Honey Bear.
Alrighty. That is a 53. And my dexterity is 60.
Yay!
What's your move rate?
My move rate is 8.
Okay. I need to just double check the rules really quick.
It's chase time, boys. It's a chase!
So, you barrel into the lobby of this place right past the kind of confused and alarmed Reggie and see a skinny black guy running down the stairs to your left.
Colored.
And you both kind of lock eyes and stare at each other for a moment, like, kind of like hairs raising, as like, it's like almost like a duel who's gonna run first. And this guy just sprints for the exit. And you're hot on his heels. Mm-hmm. He pushes into the door and like kicks off and like starts running off to the right.
Okay. So he's gonna go after him.
Okay.
And he's gonna be yelling, "Hey, why are you running?"
I like this guy.
And the guy's just like, shh. He keeps like looking over his shoulder. He's genuinely intimidated. Actually, do you have Intimidate as a skill?
No, I don't have Intimidate.
Okay.
He's a big guy, but he's a softie. For the most part.
There's a big group of people up ahead, and he darts left into the street behind the parked cars, looks left and right, and even though it's not really clear, he sprints into traffic. There's like slamming of brakes and honking of horns, and he puts his hand out and starts running across the street away from you. But he manages to get to the other side. What do you want to do?
He's gonna keep chasing him. Do the same thing. Try to like stop cars and go.
Okay. Traffic is resumed, and it takes you a second. Give me a dex roll to see if you can get in between the cars here.
That's a 1. Oh my god, I got a 1! Woo!
Okay.
Nice.
So you slip out in front of the first car before it starts moving again, and just put up your giant hand, and they just immediately hit the brakes again. And you sprint after this dude, who kind of like slowed down when he got to the other side of the street, and then sees you coming again and tries sprinting by his feet, catch on some ice, and he starts losing his balance, and you advance closer than you were to him. It does get really slippery though, so I need you to give me another dex roll here.
That's a 66. That's a fail.
Okay. So you managed to wait. What kind of fail was it? It was just like within normal parameters.
It's barely. My dexterity is a 60, and I got a 66.
Okay, cool. So you don't like fall. You basically slow down. Like you hit this patch, and like your feet kind of do a little dance underneath you. And he starts running away. He starts, gaining some distance on you.
Mm-hmm.
He turns into an alley on the left, up ahead. Let's see here. Do you follow directly?
Can I do like a I don't want to say it. I guess the spot's hidden. Does he notice anything? Because I don't think he's gonna want to run into an alley out of fear of getting jumped. Because he's been well, I guess tried to be mugged before in alleys, so he's wary of going into dark, non-public areas without being cautious. So
yeah, why don't you give me a hard spot hidden then?
Oh, oof. Okay.
Or wait, no, let me think.
It doesn't matter. I got an 84.
Okay, yeah. So you're following then? Or are you just gonna like stop and like what? Like give me a for instance here.
So he's gonna see him run into the alley and he's gonna stop. He doesn't. I think at this point he doesn't want to go in to the alley. Just
Okay, why don't you give me a listen roll then?
Okay. 49. So that's a pass.
Okay, you don't hear his footsteps anymore.
No.
No.
Maybe he's flying.
So.
You're doing it, Peter.
Okay, man. So
Stop it! I was thinking about that movie all day.
Did he? So I guess. Well, then he would have stopped in the alley, like, Or did he run down the alley and is Honey Bear at the end, like right at the entrance of the alley?
I think he was probably like a good like 15, 20 yards ahead of you. But you could hear his heavy footfalls, like, splashing through the slush and crunching in the snow. And
So
you don't hear them now. So he's either stopped or inside a building at this point.
Okay, so he's gonna go. He's gonna go after him into the alley.
Okay.
He may have stopped.
You hesitate at the corner of this alley, and then eventually you're like, fuck, and you barrel in there, and you see like the back of a spade coming right at your face.
Ooh.
I'm gonna need either a dodge or a fight back roll from you.
Can fight back be like brawl? Because dodge would
Fight
be
back is basically for any fighting or like maneuvers, you would use fighting brawl, except for dodge.
Okay. Oh, except for dodge.
Because it's its own thing. So if you were just trying to like duck, that would be a dodge thing. But if you're gonna try to like stop it and then like tackle him and then beat him with it, then it's like a maneuver.
He's gonna tackle the hell out of this guy.
Okay.
So I'll make a roll and you tell me which one it is. I got a 31.
You beat me by 8. You beat me by 8 points. It was close.
Ooh.
So you see this shovel coming right at you. How do you want to do this?
He's gonna grab the shovel, toss it aside. Like, I'm thinking like he grabs the shovel, pulls it away, and just tackles the dude.
Okay.
Just like keeps this, like his sprint doesn't stop. He'll just like, boom, one big body slam.
How do you want to do this?
Do you like that? How do you want to do this?
Sorry,
No, it's
I
great.
didn't-
It's great though, isn't it?
We're gonna do this the easy way or the hard.
I love it, Dill.
We're gonna do this the honey
I'm
bear.
gonna do more shit like that instead of just telling you what happened.
I like
So yeah, you take him right off his feet. You couldn't wrestle the shovel away from him fully. He's like still got it in his hands. You've still got it in your hands, but you're now like on top of him, and he's like clenching his teeth, and he looks like both like terrified and like absolutely seething. And he's just glaring at you. Let me see. Can I get a luck roll?
Is that a group or just from me?
Let's
that
just
me?
go. Let's just go with you since you're right there. We'll just do that.
I got an 8.
Okay. So he took 3 damage from that hit. He clonked his head on the bricks and kind of scraped him when he was falling. So let me note that down. 3. Okay, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
So he's not gonna beat the snot out of him. Actually, he's gonna keep him pinned, but he's gonna talk to him. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, hey, why are you running? I just want to talk to you, man.
Fuck up. And he spits in your face.
Oh my god.
So he's gonna is he like holding the shovel,
You're like pressing it into his chest, but the guy's still holding the shovel.
So he's gonna smack him in the face with the shovel, and then keep like the handle of the shovel, like right, because they're both holding onto the handle, right? So he's gonna bap him in the head with the shovel handle.
Okay, I'm gonna need an
talk to him
opposed
again.
strength roll on this to see if you pass.
Okay, that's a 4.
Okay. So, he spits at you. You wipe it free, and you just bip him with the. Do you want him with the end, like the actual like metal part?
So like the way I picture it is that they're both like 2 hands holding onto the.
So you're like forcing it
Onto the
into his
handle of it.
chin almost.
Yeah, just like smacking him in the chin with it, right?
Okay. So you're like pushing it up into his fucking face. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it does 1 damage.
Okay.
He kind of like reels back from it. Fucking piece of shit. He's gonna try to get out of this position. No. Oop. Okay. I need an opposed strength roll from this.
I got a 33.
Okay. So he kind of reels from it and lolls his head to the side, and you accidentally fall for the bait and get a little too close, and he goes in for the headbutt, and it connects.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, his build isn't big enough for that, so that's nice. That only hits you for 1 damage, though.
Okay.
But it does knock your grip free. And he's, like, trying to, like, squirm away at this point.
Okay. So he's going to talk to him again real quick. All right, look, man, I don't want to hurt you if I don't have to. I just want to know what you were doing out there. And why you were running.
Why you running? I like it. He's not answering, though. He's just trying to get away. He doesn't give a fuck.
All right, fine. So he's going to just start punching him in the face. Until he... either punching him until he stops trying to get away or until he's unconscious. One of the two.
Kick his ass.
Okay, go for the punch, then.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
Ooh, that was a miss. That's a 75. Oof.
Okay, cool. How do I want to do this?
Oof.
Okay, sure. Let's do that. Okay, so he
Oh, no.
he sees your blow coming and easily dodges to the side of it, and successfully gets to his feet. But instead of attacking you, he pulls a giant machete out of his coat.
Oh boy.
Oh
Okay.
shit!
And then
In response,
he like rattles it in his
Sorry,
hand and goes "Ah!" and like screams in your face, trying to
Okay.
like get you to back off.
In response, Honey Bear is going to take his shotgun out.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck! This is escalating, man.
This is fantastic. Continue.
Because he's got it like at the ready. By the way, it's not a.
Maybe I should Han Solo it then. Okay, I want to see what
Comes
happens.
out of a holster, you might say.
It's well, it's just in his coat.
All right. He takes one look at it, and then he looks at you. I want. Oh, God, I need a roll from you. Give me like an intimidate roll.
I got a 30. That's a 9, not a 6. 39.
39. Is that a fail?
Yeah, because I have just the base intimidate.
Okay. Okay. So he's gonna reel back and try to fucking hit you.
Okay.
Raises his machete-wielding hand high into the sky. Oh, fuck. You're screwed.
Oh God.
What would you like to do?
Shoot him.
Okay.
You're gonna kill our witness.
I need a
witnesses.
D100 to try to fight this back. Basically, this is like quick draw at this point.
Come on,
See
be
who
a
goes-
man,
Okay.
dude.
I got an 8.
Oh shit!
I got a 6.
Are you kidding me? Can I use
great.
luck? I swear to God, can I use
No,
luck for
no,
this?
it's combat.
God damn it, it's combat, right?
It's combat. Like, it's funny because there's a lot of
Son
people
of a-
have house rules where you can use luck in these, but I'm just like, no, I don't like that.
No, good job, Dylan.
Thank you. I'm
God damn
proud
it.
of myself.
Good job.
This is gonna hurt.
It is gonna hurt.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
You're
Honey Bear's
dead.
dead, isn't he?
Oh fuck! What's your health?
My health is 15.
Okay. Fuck. All right. So
That's not a good question.
he brings down the machete as you're reaching for the shotgun, trying to bring it up, and it gets caught in the folds of your giant fur coat as the machete comes down right on where your shoulder meets your neck, and just sinks inches, slides through. You hear this schlick as it comes out, and blood just shoots out. Your hand instinctively goes to the hole now, like that's just oozing, shooting blood out, and you fall to your knees because that is a major wound. I'm sorry to say.
Oh shit!
Oof. Oof.
What was the damage?
It was 8 damage.
Oof.
I was like going into this. Should I sugarcoat it? And then I got the 8, and I was like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
No.
Poor fucking Honey
Don't
Bear. He's
sugarcoat
the
it.
best new character, and he's gonna die.
Yeah. God damn it! You made me put so much work into this. I knew I shouldn't have gone into that alley.
Stop it. You stop it, damn it.
So I think since it's a major wound, I think I need a Constitution roll from you to see if you remain conscious.
Oh, shit.
I got a 15, and my Constitution is 80.
Okay, so you did remain conscious.
Damn, Constitution.
God, I have to actually look that up pretty quick. Because combat's still like going on, so I need to know how it affects it.
I think that still passes an extreme.
That's good.
Let's see.
Who's fucking with the controller?
That's me, sorry.
God damn it, Cameron. We talked about this last time.
I told you, I'm squirrely.
Woo! Yeah, dude, that passes an extreme by 1 point.
Okay, cool. I need to look up the... Keep this up. God damn it. Bear with me, sorry, guys. Sorry, I have like 4 books that I have to go through and shit.
That's
Why
fine.
don't you guys back at the theater role play out what you'd be doing as you're watching Honey Bear take off after this guy while I look this up?
Oh, man.
Roger, stay with me.
Doctor.
We don't know if
Well,
that else.
okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, my God, he ran really fast. That was
Get
pretty
somewhere,
quick.
get somewhere safe. I don't know if
Reggie,
they have
who
one.
is this guy?
It's Bear, man. He's a tough man.
Bear, he's a honey bear. Why do you call him honey bear? What's going on with this guy?
This nickname, man. Only I get to call him Bear. I don't know. It's...
Nickname from what? What has he done to make you call him honey bear?
I knew him from the army. We go way back. He's a good man. He's
What do you do in the army?
Yeah, you know, that's where I learned my engineering.
Is he also an engineer? He doesn't seem much like an engineer to me.
No, he ain't no engineer. I just met him in there.
He ain't no engineer. He a fucking killer. Sorry.
Don't let his soft demeanor fool you. He's a tough man.
Nothing soft about his demeanor, sir. It's just, you know, he seems awfully reasonable to kill. You know what I mean? Like he just kills whoever. At least he just went off. He just went off on nothing. Like I don't know what the hell he went off
just
for.
so you know what he looks like,
didn't you?
I'm just gonna say, just so you know what he looks like, just so you can get a little idea. Not that it matters, because he's probably gonna be dead soon. He looks like Fat
Yep.
Terry Crews.
Yes.
Okay. Like a slightly bigger chair. Poor Terry Crews, man. I didn't need to visualize him getting macheted, man.
Nope. Now you have
No,
to
especially not
visualize it.
macheted
You kill him.
because he was also
So
raped.
brutal.
He's
Yeah,
also
for
Me
real.
Too'd, and now you guys have turned that into a horrible situation for Dylan, especially, who's done nothing but been fantastic during this
Thank
whole thing.
you.
So fuck you guys.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
besides kill us all.
I didn't kill anybody yet.
Look at the Discord, and I have a picture for you.
Yes, I've already.
Okay, so for the sake of this, you are you passed your Constitution roll, so you're still conscious. Basically, you can still fight back. You can do basically everything. But if your health falls to, if your HP falls to 0 in your current condition, since you're suffering from a major wound, you are technically dying.
Okay. He's gonna shoot the guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Offhand or main hand? I'm assuming offhand at this point, since your fucking right hand's all fucked up.
Well, which side did he get hit in?
I
The
feel like
right
the
shoulder.
left- Oh,
Right
Wait, let me
shoulder?
think. Yeah, actually, no. Left makes more sense.
it
The guy's
depends on what the
right-handed.
guy's.
Yeah, if the
I
guy's
think the guy was
right-handed, he's
right-handed
hitting
and
with
got
the
Depends
you in
on
your
if the
left
other
shoulder.
guy's left. I think the guy was right-handed, so he got you in your left shoulder.
90%
Okay, so then
chance
he's
right-handed.
then he's his main hand is still good. So he's left holster. So he's gonna shoot him.
Okay. Give me that shotgun roll.
That shotgun roll. That shoddy roll is a 2.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Could have used that earlier.
So roll damage for that.
Okay, let me get my D4 because this is melee range. So
You're hitting for a lot. Potentially hitting
It's a
for a
lot,
lot, I should say.
let me find what dice I need to roll. Because okay, it's 4d6.
Good
give him
God.
this.
Well, he's dead.
We don't know that for sure. He could survive.
That's true. You could
This
roll
could
4 ones.
roll something low.
Like I did last time. I rolled 3
I rolled
goddamn
a 6.
ones. Okay.
Okay, so that's 6. That's 3. That's 6.
Okay.
And that's 5.
He's dead for sure. He
He's
blew him
super
apart,
dead.
Dylan.
fuck.
Blew him apart.
That's 21.
His head
right?
exploded.
Okay.
Describe it in the way that makes
so-
everyone up happy.
You just hit that guy for fucking how much damage? Almost 20? 19
so wait.
damage?
19 damage, yeah.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Shoot him in the face.
So, you know when, if you're playing Red Dead, when you shoot someone at real close range with a shotgun, what happens
know.
to them?
I know all about it.
That's exactly what's
vaporize.
happening.
Shot Marvin in the face.
Just like, what I'm picturing is just like, he was aiming for like the neck-ish area, like the chest, you know, upper chest, lower neck. That's what he was aiming for.
Alright. Well, when the shells enter the bottom of his fucking chin and come out the top of his head, there's not much face left. And his arm that had been raised and raising higher to strike down with the machete a second time, still dripping with Honey Bear's blood, just clatters
no.
to the ground as the guy just falls backward, just flat into the snow of the alley, dead as fuck. Good job, Honey Bear.
Holy
fuck! Jesus Christ!
Are you guys
shot.
approaching at the base of the alley at this point?
Did we hear the gunshot? I feel like we only got to roll for that.
certainly. Almost
Okay,
certainly.
I'm going to leave the doctor to go and find this gunshot because it's my natural instinct to do so.
Everyone is following. Even Schusenberg and Millie Adams are following.
I was just about to ask that.
the beautiful Schusenberg?
Yeah,
the
I was just about to
beautiful
ask if they were still with us or not.
Yeah.
Good, that's what I like to hear.
They look concerned. Reggie, are you going too? And Petrovich, you both going?
They're all coming. Fuck it.
Everybody coming. Okay. So as you guys round the corner of the alley, Roger, you're first because you started running first. You stop dead at the sight of this dude just fucking massacred. Just like there's this like spray of like just red viscera, like kind of like just telescoping outward from like in a funnel shape from where this guy's landed. Just all
Oh
the
my god,
pieces
I'd like
that,
to lose some
landed.
sanity because of it.
Oh, it's pretty fucked up. Yeah, you can lose a sanity for that.
Thank you. I
welcome.
think it's only fair that I
think
lose
it's
the
fair, too.
sanity for that
Yeah.
because that's nuts.
That's pretty fucked up.
I'm now down to
Honey Bear,
80.
you're doing your best to like stay. You haven't gotten back up yet. You're still like on your knees, like trembling.
He's exhausted. He's just like,
When
I ain't in shape for this no more.
when Millie rounds the corner, she lets out a really shrill shriek and almost faints. But Schusenberg like grabs her and like tries like pulling her away, and they both kind of like sit against the wall of the building outside. The longer you guys kind of sit there, like taking in this image, you hear sirens in the distance. And go for it, guys.
Alright. Well, he spits out some blood. Sorry, Mr. Roger. I tried to talk to him, but
Oh my god!
he hit me with this crazy looking machete right in the neck, and so
Come on, just don't look at him. Don't look at him. Don't think about it. Oh my god.
Reggie,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I'm just trying to like comfort Bear and trying to like keep him upright and just been like, I get your thing, man. Why don't you take a seat?
Your hair's been hit.
Reggie, I'll tell you one thing: I'd rather be shot than this, and I have been shot before.
Listen,
You
Mr.
remember
Barrett, that
that
was
time?
fantastic. You did a good job, I think. I don't know. Let me... Oh, God, he smells. Let me search this guy's pockets or something. That's what I'm going to
And
do.
pick
Dylan.
up that crazy looking knife. I want to keep
I'm
that.
not even noticing the knife. I don't even see it. I just want to see what's going on
Searching
here.
his
I'll
pockets
go
there.
over and pick up the
Yeah.
knife and like set it next to him. It's like, don't worry.
God
Give me a
damn.
roll,
The
Dylan.
police are probably going to want to take that. But yeah, you can give me a spot hidden if you want, Roger.
All right, Big Rods gives a spot hidden, which is a good for everyone because that's a 50, and I roll an 80. That's not a 50, so that's much worse.
Would you like to push it, or would you like to use your bonus thing?
Hey, you got the bonus.
I'd like to use the bonus thing because I haven't used it yet, and I feel like
Could
my
I have
time
used that
is
bonus
waiting.
thing during the combat?
You
Oh,
could have,
that's
but you didn't.
Probably.
God
You
damn it, I
didn't.
forgot.
You watch your mouth.
You did it.
Chances
Because
are
your
you would have
face-
rolled that, you got that 8 or whatever, and then you would have rolled a 28 or something.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's true. I don't think I could roll better than
All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I got
roll
a 6.
again
I got
then,
lucky.
and I rolled a 27. That is a
Okay.
phenomenal pass.
So the sirens are getting closer, and you're getting a little more antsy, and you kind of have to like heave the guy a little bit onto his right thigh and reach into his back pocket to
Oh, I bet he smells like
find
shit
something
right now.
there.
Yeah.
It's kind of
takes
disgusting.
a
He
little
kind
while
of
to
smelled
sort
like
it out,
shit
you know.
before he was killed, and now it's even
Thank you,
worse.
shit himself, buddy.
Oh,
But
fuck!
in his back pocket, there's a
Oh,
there's
no.
a strip of that red flannel.
Do I recognize it, or is that something
It
I've
looks-
seen?
It looks exactly like the red flannel headbands that those assailants of Jackson's
So I
were
pull
wearing.
it out, and I have a flashback to that guy that was leaving the apartment with a red flannel around his face, and me chasing him down.
The ginger cunt.
Good old ginger cunt.
Cunt.
At least he's dead.
This was him?
No, this is
No.
it's not him.
No.
That guy. I mean, that's the guy that
Oh,
Corey accidentally killed. Or Leslie.
Well, yeah,
Rambled.
but I don't know if I know that because I've been.
Yeah,
sleeping.
Leslie rambled, and you've not been. Yeah, you've not been.
Nah, but I remember it from before.
So I think that the doctor would be probably applying some gauze to Honey Bear.
Gauze. We need some gauze in here. Okay, yeah, go
Now look,
for
you
it.
might be a doctor, but I need a hospital.
Do you want to
This is
go?
gonna need way more than God.
Do you want full blown like first aid, or do you want to try to do
AIDS.
medicine?
Full blown first aid.
Full blown AIDS.
Full ponies.
That is a 50. 5-0.
Okay. Well, that's a pass. So I do believe that you get 1 HP back from that.
Yay, so now I should be at... I lost 8, I was at 15, so that's 7, so I'm back at 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it could
Quick
be
math.
worse. You're still suffering from the major wound. Let me make sure I know how that works.
Just
Hold
try to hang on. I'm sure the ambulance has come.
Alright, look, Doc, I've been shot before. Now this right here is something much worse. And I know I gotta
I think
wait.
you got
Why
hit
you
by a
just
machete.
laugh
I don't
there?
think you were shot.
That thing's way more crazy looking than a machete. Alright, I ain't never
There,
seen
why
nothing
don't
like
you
that.
just relax? Hold your breath, man. You really hurt.
You know what, Reggie? I told you this before. Talking helps me relax. Alright?
I understand.
I'm a people person. I
Can
gotta
I get
talk.
you anything?
What are you possibly gonna get me, boy? We are in an alleyway next to a dead body.
Well, fuck me, man. I'm just trying to help you out.
Look, Reggie, you're like my little brother here. And I know we spent about 3 dang weeks stuck in one of them trenches. But I think this right here is a little bit more intense and immediate. So all I need right now is a hospital.
So, we guys are all doing this. The police arrive. At first, it's just, it looks like it's just 2 beat cops that showed up in like a patrol car. And they start taking statements. They take statements from Millie and Schusenberg first. And clearly they don't have much to offer. They just say that there was a man and then he like started running and, they're giving their side of it. They try to get some out of you, Honey Bear, but your wounds are just too much. And they do end up calling you an ambulance. They start taking statements from the rest of you, Petrovich and Reggie. And Reggie, do you want to go with the hospital with him?
Yeah,
Like
I
in
do.
the ambulance?
Yes.
Or do you want to stay with Roger? Like, what do you guys want to do with him?
I'll ask Roger first. I'll go over to Roger. So, hey, Roger, you mind if I take Bear to the hospital? Just kind of worry about that. You be okay by yourself?
Processing.
Roger, you okay? I know this is intense night.
Lucas, are you muted?
Breathe.
Sorry, I was saying everything that whole time, and I was because I don't want to say anything while you guys are talking, so I feel like it's rude.
Oh, okay.
Yourself all the time. But no, okay. Okay, say it again. I'm ready to go. Ready for the scene, sir.
Roger, do you mind if I take Bear to the hospital, man?
No.
I'm kind of worried about him.
No, he's your friend. You do him. I'll stay with the doctor, and we'll be okay.
I know you hired me. I'm just worried
Oh,
about you.
we'll be okay. And Roger kind of pats the right side of his coat because that's where he's kind of installed that, like, spear thing.
He has John's pistol too, right?
He does, but that's not what he's concerned about because it's not what he thinks about. He thinks more about stabbing people with his spear that he's made than that.
I'll say to Roger. So, all right, Roger. Maybe I'll meet you tomorrow. We can talk about this some more.
Okay, so I picture that real quick. I picture this being like they're they're wheeling him into the ambulance, right? And the doors are still open, so he's still within earshot of Honeybear. So Honeybear's gonna say, "Hey, Mr. Roger, do you have a medical plan?"
Yes.
And they close the door. And they close the door.
Ah, shit! All right, so I talked to Reggie. Listen, you go with him and tell me anything he says about this guy. I'm gonna take the doctor somewhere safe. Okay, yes, I'll pay for his medical expenses. Just have them keep laying it off until I get there. Okay?
You've been proven to be a good man. I trust you. So I'll
Thank you, Reggie.
and I'll meet you tomorrow at your hotel. I have your information. We can talk some more tomorrow.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll figure this out tomorrow.
So as
Shit!
as the ambulance pulls away, with Reggie and Honeybear inside, some more police have arrived. Looks like there's a lieutenant kind of pointing orders off around the alley and stuff. I would like a listen roll from Petrovich and Roger, as well as... Yeah, we'll just start with that.
Oh, I got a 67. That's a hard fail, dude.
That was a 64 for me, which I think that's a fail also. I don't even know
That's too close to...
I think I have a basic listen, so yeah.
Okay.
But I was gonna ask if the cops had already gotten to that guy's body or not yet.
Yeah, they're basically already on it, and they're kind of trying to cordon off the area. It looks like that might have been what that lieutenant was ordering, because they're like putting out some rope and trying to get people to like move along and everything.
I was just gonna try and get close enough to maybe make like a forensics check or something, but
the lieutenant does turn around and he's kind of conversing with some of his fellow officers, and they approach you, Petrovich, and Roger. As the lieutenant approaches, Roger, give me a spot hidden.
I'll do this for you, Dylan, only because you asked nicely.
Thank you.
I got a 14. Nice. I passed.
Ooh. Okay. So, Schusenberg is still kind of trying to comfort Millie. They're kind of sitting on the stoop of the building right beside you guys, kind of looking at the police as they're walking up. This lieutenant who's walking out front kind of like looks over one shoulder and then the other shoulder, and then when he looks back at you, it strikes you immediately, just this sinking feeling of your heart, that his eyes are two different colors.
Oh, no. I recognize that, Dylan. That man's not a good man.
And he it looks like we caught you right at the scene of the crime. And then he starts reading you Miranda rights.
That's fine. Nothing we can do about that.
He grabs you by the coat and he brings you over to the building and he starts cuffing you. And while he's doing this, Millie gets up. She's like, "You have no right to do that. Coming in here, he didn't do anything. You talked to him, he didn't do anything." And then Schusenberg is trying to like shush her and be like, "Calm down, just see how it happens. What do you even charge him for?" And then he starts listing off just various crimes, and then he ends with immopery.
Immopery? That's not a real word, Dylan. You made that up just now for this case. But, okay, I'll let it happen. Can I say something to Dr. Petrovich before I go?
Another officer has grabbed Petrovich, and he's also being read rights and also being handcuffed.
No. All right.
In fact, they're doing it to the two of you, and Schusterberg is trying to call Millie and take her away. They put you in the back of two different squad cars. And
Dylan, I don't like where this is going.
You can't arrest me for no reason. What? I don't
Doctor,
understand.
just don't say anything. We'll deal with it later.
I'm spitting at their feet as I get arrested.
No.
That's not a good idea.
No, dude.
Oh, no.
so
All
you
right.
okay? So you spit on the officer's feet as he's escorting you to the car, and as he's putting you in the back of his car, he pushes your head into the top of the vehicle. He's like, "Oops, sorry, my foot slipped," and you take 2 damage from it.
Oh, what an
I
asshole!
was gonna say two. That was good.
I
You get.
Dr. Petrovich licks the blood as it runs down his face and swallows it.
Ew.
Oh Christ!
And he speaks Russian and only
Metal.
Russian for the rest of this time.
Yeah.
Look
fucking-
at
yes.
Horrific shit.
Two hit points? That's
Yep.
not good for me, Dylan. I
It
don't
is
have
not.
very many hit points.
You don't.
You're telling me.
So they close the doors and they start heading to the
fuck made that
14th
decision?
precinct. And the
Yeah,
lieutenant
I know,
is
Dylan.
driving your vehicle. He said, "Oh, Mr. Lynch, told you to keep your nose out of things. You just had to keep poking around.
Well, it's just how I am. I don't know what to tell you, officer.
Captain wants to have a word with you."
I want to have a word with the captain. That's convenient.
Ain't it so?
Wonder who'll come out on top of that. What do you reckon?
He like looks over his shoulder at you and kind of smiles after he stops behind the car in front of him. "I don't want to give away the ending." And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
Oh, Dylan. You son of a bitch! Good job. That was good.
Yeah, very nice.
That was a phenomenal episode, by the way. Jesus
Dude, I don't
Christ.
know if you saw it. Oh, I posted it in the Hangouts phone. I'm so glad that me and you are finally fucking bros. We've never been bros.
That's true. You guys have always hated each other in this game, haven't you?
We've always hated
Every
each
single
other.
time.
Finally, it's like, I'm like, fuck yeah, me and Noah are friends.
Hell yeah!
So I was like, don't die, dude. I finally have a friend in you.
I thought you were dead, dude. When I rolled an 8, I was like, oh,
dude,
shit.
I swear to God, I was like, I
was max
really
damage.
like
That
Honey Bear.
sucked. That would have sucked so bad. I love
Honey Bear apologizes for killing the guy and getting y'all arrested.
Well, thanks
I
everyone
like
for
your- I like
listening.
your-
Reggie went with him.
Yeah.
I'm
I like your colored
gonna
voice.
stop streaming. Oh, we're definitely gonna stop streaming. And we'll see you all next time.